inaccuracies in there.
Exactly. God didn't write it. The men did. They interpreted the words.
Yeah, the men that he told to write it. So
Yeah, like an example of this would be I could give like an eyewitness testimony, and then like 30 seconds later you'd forget a word or two. Then you change it. It's
and that
like seconds later you'd forget a word or two. Then you change it. It's like telephone basically. Because what
yeah.
God tells them they just don't understand.
Yeah, but like why would a perfect God make that mistake intentionally? It seems like he intentionally did it. He should
That
know
could just
better.
be a mistranslation as well, couldn't it?
Say what?
That could have just been a mistranslation as well. Because by perfect, it could just be in, like, better than human understanding.
Okay, yeah, so that's like more reason not to trust God
How so?
because the message is not even translated properly. We don't know anything about this man.
That's
And
more
actually,
of a
and
reason
actually,
not to trust the
like,
eyewitness
and
testimonies
and
or the
actually,
Bible, not the God himself.
to answer your question earlier, yeah, like I don't trust people I don't know.
So, would you trust Stephen Hawkins and his discoveries?
No, I would need like to look into them.
Would you trust Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, I would need
Like
to look into them.
findings?
I don't trust them right off the back. I need to evaluate what they're saying.
Wow. Would you trust me? Because you've never technically met me.
I mean, like, no,
Wow.
until I evaluate,
Wow.
like,
Wow. Cancel Coco, y'all.
until
Coco.
I evaluate, like, who you are and your character. Like, no, why would I trust somebody I don't
What?
know?
Wow, you think I'm putting on a character now? Wow. Cancel Coco.
Anyway,
I was just gonna say it's a phase next.
but what up, Clinton?
Hey man, I did not see that debate. I missed it because I was busy. Is there like somewhere I could go back and watch it?
Yeah, I've uploaded it actually to like, yeah, to 5 channels. I spent like the whole day doing that actually. Um,
Are you talking about the one between that was on Big John Steele's live?
yeah, I
Yeah.
uploaded it to, here, let me check.
Who won the debate?
There wasn't any declared winner. Because I guess when we have like high value guests, we try to be as respectful as possible. So we don't want to declare a winner, or like we just leave it up to the audience. But I mean, like that's my policy. But like,
The theist one.
but you know, like,
What were you more? Who do you felt like? What swayed you more out of the two?
I mean, like the conversation was like very intellectual, and like there was a lot of like philosophical jargon that I wasn't keeping up with. But I did notice at some point in the debate, the atheist was making like somewhat of a problem of evil argument, saying that like if God can't choose to do evil, then like he's not doing like good or evil willingly. He's doing it like out of impulse. And then like if he's just like doing this involuntarily, he doesn't have like responsibility. And so if he doesn't have responsibility, then like why is he worthy of like our worship? Because I mean, typically you have respect or worship towards somebody who's responsible. Um, and so like it was sort of going like that route. But Ryan Mullins
Yeah.
didn't do a good job. I mean, like part of me wants to say the atheist one, but like I hesitate on saying that because like there was a lot of philosophy that I didn't really understand, and my brain was trying to keep track of it, but like I couldn't really keep track of all of it. And also I donated plasma, so I was like kind of tired
Oh wow.
um, prior. So yeah,
Um,
people said I was
are
like,
you?
people said it looked like I was falling asleep towards the end of the debate. I hope not. But yeah, I donated plasma, and that like takes away like protein and water out of your body,
Yeah.
and so I was
Yeah.
like trying to like be awake. But yeah.
Do you are you ever interested in like listening to like I wouldn't like pastors that like have not just sermons but like have spoken at Google or like answered hard questions and stuff like that?
I'm down. Yeah, cause
Yeah, because I could
okay.
send you this guy that like um I he's really helped me a lot just ever since my dad passed, and like he actually passed away um, years ago now, or it was a year and a half ago or something. But like I feel like he does a good job of like explaining things, and he's very humble, and even some of his sermons, bro, are just like really good to listen to. Like even if you weren't a Christian, like just to like hear his take on things, man.
Yeah, actually, from time to time I do watch like Christian clips of like pastors preaching. Um, and yeah, like I'm always like learning and trying to figure out what I believe in.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, like, I don't know if I told you this on another live, but like, I was for a while, like, debating people on here on my lives, but now I'm trying to just really get to know where people are coming from with things. And then, like, I do invite other people up that are more into the debating kind of thing. But I always feel like, unless I have my notes with me, and even when I do have my notes with me, I'm so bad at retaining the information that like I know there's answers to questions, but I don't remember the answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, dude, like literally same. Like I'm trying to like be a good debater and like host debates and kind of be like one of the prominent names out there. Um, and yeah, like literally, when it comes to me, I always like whenever I enter a debate, I always like have my notes or Google on like standby or like I'm going through like encyclopedias and stuff. And like people think that I'm smart, but like I'm literally just like reading my notes or like, I Google search something to contribute to the conversation. Like if we're talking about like evolution, I know like a little bit about evolution, but like I'll definitely pull up like a note and like read something that I've studied. Um,
As somebody that's not Christian, who do you feel is the best when it comes to debating on here as a Christian?
um, as a Christian,
Yeah, I'm curious.
um, I mean, like, I instinctively want to say like Ryan Mullins because he has the most knowledge, and so if he just works on rhetoric, he would be able to be anybody. But like, I don't think he needs to work on rhetoric. I think he's fine. I just think he's gonna have like a wider grasp of like the material. Um, but I don't know. Like, if not Ryan Mullins, then like, I mean,
Which one is which one is Ryan, bro?
Ryan Mullins. He's the person that debated the other day,
Okay,
and
yeah, I don't know if I've actually ever watched him, man.
he's a PhD scholar. He's published multiple books, and like he's a PhD lecturer at a college, and he graduated, got his PhD. But yeah, like Ryan Mullins would probably be like one of the best theists, and then I mean and then people I would put up there would be like Bob by Blood, inspiring philosophy. Um, I think Than or Exploring Reality is like he has the knowledge. Um, I have to watch his Matt Dillahunty debate and see like Dillahunty debate. And then there's this guy named Kay who debated Danny the other day, and like I think that he's a pretty good debater.
Yeah, I like Danny. As far as I would put him like one of my favorites to watch on the other side of it. But yeah, inspiring philosophy is pretty good. John's also pretty good. Um, but as far as like this other guy that you were talking about that just had the debate, does he go live a lot, or is he just somebody that does a debate once in a while?
He like does like a debate once in a while. He mostly is a PhD lecturer, so he's probably like busy with that stuff. Um, but yeah, but thank
Yeah.
you guys for being here. If you can, like the live, share the live. Let's see if we can get people in here. I just finished the video game Dispatch, and I'm playing it again and like streaming it on Twitch and YouTube. And yeah, but no, yeah, Ryan Mullins is a PhD teacher. He teaches, I think he teaches philosophy and religion. And then the other guy, I keep forgetting his name, but I need to remember his name. Hold on, I'll tell you like who it is. Maybe you've heard of him. He's an atheist, PhD scholar, and he's put a couple books and articles out. It was Dr. Stephen Kirshner versus Dr. Ryan Mullins.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the one dude's name. He's got curly hair. He has glasses. He goes live all the time. I think he was on his live.
The Bible guy? But I don't think he has a
No,
whole hair.
the atheist dude. I know there's probably a lot of people with curly hair and glasses, so that doesn't help. But
Oh,
um,
Ian?
yeah, yeah, I think that's him. Yeah, yeah. I think was the atheist on his live at all at one point.
Um, was the atheist on whose live? Ryan Mullins? Um, I mean, like I see Ian go live, but like no, I don't think I've seen Ryan Mullins or Steven on his live. No.
Oh, what's the most convincing, or what's the most like what's your biggest problem with like what do you see as like the biggest problem with Christianity? Is it like the problem of evil, or is it like God is evil because of the Old Testament kind of thing? Because like I see that being like the biggest thing that at least comes up on TikTok. But for me as a Christian, and this I might be biased, but for me the biggest problem I would have against God, I forgot what the argument's called, but it's basically like um, because there's a lot of people that have reached out to God and gotten nothing in return, like no answer.
Yeah. I think that would kind of be like my issue. It's like, huh, like, it's like, I think like, so I'm trying to figure out like, I'm trying to figure out what the truth is, like capital T truth, like, and like, I have this document where I'm like writing down everything that I believe in. I'm building like a worldview, and like what I think to be the truth. And for me, like Christianity just doesn't really seem like a realistic like worldview to me. And like yeah, like one of my issues would be like there's no way to really separate miracles from symmetry. There's no way to separate miracles from things that are possible within like naturalism. Even if there is something that happens that we don't really have like a scientific or naturalistic answer for, it could be the case that like with future. Oh no, this is not a 1v1. You guys can join as many as you want. It could be the case that we could discover like an answer in the future, given that historically, given historical priors, we used to assign God to like everything, and so I guess like I'm trying to figure out what the truth is, and like Christianity doesn't really seem like realistic to me, in the sense that people pray
Because
for
of
stuff and like sometimes it
same
happens,
because
sometimes it doesn't. Um, I think like sometimes I feel like Christianity is like post hoc sort of, and like I'm not trying to be rude, but it seems as if like you believe in Christianity and then you kind of like assign meaning to everything, but like there's nothing like screaming like God exists. So like divine
well,
hiddenness
like
like, probably not more
I
about.
totally understand that, man. Like I don't really take offense to hardly anything. Like even when people are being offensive, I don't take offense to it just because like I don't know what they're going through. But like um, what you're saying actually does make sense when I try to step outside of it because like I could see that I might have that view too if I didn't have my own like is the word anecdotal? I don't even know if that's a word, but like my own
Anecdotal.
experiences,
Yeah.
anecdotal, yeah, experiences. Like I feel like just basing things off of my own experience has really been what really pulled it together. Like obviously the intellectual side of things was something that I focused on for a while, but if I didn't have my own experiences, I don't know. I probably might hold your view as well.
Yeah.
So I don't knock you for having the view that you have, especially if you haven't had experience. You know,
Yeah. I mean like
and
I've had like some experience.
it does bother
Okay.
me that like certain people don't have those experiences.
Yeah. And it's kind of like I've had experiences, but like I didn't really see like a symmetry breaker between like something happening in the naturalistic world and like those experiences actually like being God. And as of right now, like I don't really feel like God exists. Like I'm open minded to like God existing, but it doesn't really feel like real to me. There are Christians who are like so like on fire and passionate, and they're like, I swear God does exist, and like He's so real to me. And for me, I'm like, I used to have that fire, and then like I came out of high school and I was like, I'm gonna save atheists from going to hell, and then like I got like the shit kicked out of me by like atheists who knew what they were talking about and debated me. And then like over the years I was like studying it, and like I don't know, like it just didn't really seem realistic to me with like, yeah, I would say like divine hiddenness is one of my major issues. um
Yeah,
problem of
that's the
evil,
argument.
yeah, like problem of evil would be like one of my reasons for not really believing in God. And then like just like like there's so many like just the nature of Christianity just seems kind of weird to me, right? Like, so you have this God who wants to have a relationship with people, wants people to make it into heaven, and his approach essentially is that he's going to come down as Jesus, unalive on the cross for us, and then like start this religion that's based off of a book that his, followers are going to write in a world full of like religions based off of books. And it just seems like maybe like another concoction of like mankind trying to create another religion or an explanation for why things happen. But I don't know, like it just doesn't really seem convincing to me. For me, like I feel like I'm gonna keep studying it. I'm gonna keep looking into it because I do want to get closure and stop being an agnostic. And I think either like one day my brain's gonna click and I'm gonna be like, I'm atheist now. Because I think this is like more probable than any theistic explanation. Or one day my brain's gonna click and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm Christian, and I'm gonna start defending Christianity on TikTok. But right now I'm kind of like in the
You,
50-50.
now, how do you feel about like other religions? Do you feel like any of those could be possible?
To be honest, like I think like Christianity is like the most likely. Um, but like and the other ones kind of seem to like have a less likely chance. Because I mean, okay, Jesus exists, right? But like we don't know if he was divine or resurrected. Islam literally has a Shmeta for a prophet, and like we can't verify a lot of things that happened in the Quran. um, the Norse pagan gods I could look into more. The Greek gods I could look into more. The Egyptian gods, I just never really gave them a chance. But like, I don't really, I don't know. They don't really seem too likely. So like, I mean,
Yes.
well, like after I finish studying Christianity or getting my fill of it, I do plan on going to other religions and checking them out.
Yeah. So like,
What about Proto-European religions?
Oh, say what?
What about some of like the really, 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 really old religions? Usually fertility goddesses, divine, usually before the agricultural era.
I've heard of those, and yeah, I should probably look into those too. Like,
If you're interested, I'd ask C. She has lots of resources.
oh yeah, she told me like a whole bunch of stuff in the group chat, but like yeah, but
what about just like the idea of a a god, like one god?
oh to be honest, for some reason my brain thinks that like one god is more likely than like multiple gods. Um, but I think like the more information I study, my brain might change in that regard. Um,
But I mean, do you think it's more likely that there's a god than no god, or like what do you?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, like I tend to lean towards like atheism. Um, but I tend to lean towards atheism, but I'm still kind of like open minded. I don't want to say like God doesn't exist, but like our universe does seem kind of like purposeless and like randomness, and we have to create our own meaning. And then like like I hold to the Big Bang Theory created by the Catholic physicist, but like I don't know what started everything or if the universe is like exist infinitely. And then yeah, like I look at the universe and I don't see like intelligent design. I see like years and years of random evolution. I see 99% of the species going extinct due to evolution and natural selection. I see like meteorites like smashing into things along with asteroids. I see, stars exploding, imploding, being created. Um, yeah, like I don't really see God. I kind of just see like a purposeless universe that just happenstance to be here, I guess.
What do you think about like us as individuals? Do you think we have purpose?
Um, no, I think you like create your own purpose. I don't think anyone has like an inherent purpose. And like when I left Christianity, that used to be like a huge issue to me. Like when I was Catholic, I was like, I had this idea like God's gonna tell me like who to marry and like what street to live on and like what my purpose is, and He's just gonna give me the guideline to life, and I'm gonna be able to figure it out. And Christians told me like He would tell me what my purpose is. But that became confusing. God didn't really like speak to me. There was this inkling that I had, but like I thought it was just like my feelings, and it wasn't really like God. Like I couldn't see the symmetry breaker. I thought that like there's this famous atheist on YouTube who has the same story as me. Like he grew up Catholic, and at one point he thought he was supposed to be a Catholic priest. And like, yeah, at one point I thought I was supposed to be like a Catholic priest, and I had my fears about doing that. Um, but yeah, I mean, like it could have just been a feeling, and there's a whole anecdotal story behind that. But like, I don't really like. It's weird. It's like 50-50. It could have been that God was like telling me to go into this calling, but then it could be the case that it was just like my feelings and acting on my superstitions and stuff or fears.
Yeah, I could never be a priest just because I could never like be single my whole life.
That was one of my issues. Yeah, I wanted to. I used to write music, and like I wanted to like be a pop star, and like I played the drums and like piano, and like I had all these plans for my life, and then like it was like I did go through a phase of like being frustrated. Like why is God calling me to like do this thing that literally like cancels out all my other plans? Like that's pretty fucked. Like why would God create me with desires and then like cancel out all my desires? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there was
You
yeah.
still play music, bro?
Not as much as I listen to it. I
Yeah,
don't really like play
this is
piano or something.
actually this is actually my music page. I don't have any. I have no um, like I have no videos on like God or anything. I go live and talk about it, but like most of my videos are either music or like comic books. But like this is my music page, bro. So if you play drums, bro, we should make a song.
I mean, like yeah, like I can play like a little bit, although I do need to like. I mean, like I can play, but like I'm not like the most talented drummer, but like I'm decent. But yeah, like drumming, piano, and then what else? Oh, but no, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually,
I was gonna say for purpose for me, I just feel like if God exists, then purpose would be to like help people and then just know God. Like if God does exist, I feel like that would be purpose for like all of us.
oh, just to like help people and like know God and spread the word of God.
Not even spread the word. Like I know that sounds terrible as a Christian, but I just feel like ultimate purpose is just to like help people and to just know God.
Yeah. I mean, like, is there anything like? Does it get more specific than that?
Maybe that's where like the individual purpose comes in.
Yeah.
Like each person has their own like how they help people and all that, but I feel like it's pretty general just like knowing God and like the more we know him, the more we understand ourselves and we understand life itself and everything within it. And then just like helping people is like I don't know, I feel like when you help people or like when people are in need or suffering and you do something for them, like it really does help yourself, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel that. Um, what do I have to say to that? I mean, I guess yeah. Like, if God existed, like maybe that would be like the purpose. And yeah, like, I mean, you could already tell I'd probably be searching for like a more like individualistic purpose. Like, I think like if that was the only purpose, then I'd probably become nihilistic at some point, but probably like in my 50s or something, I'd be like, wait, so all I'm supposed to do my entire life is just like help people and
No,
like worship
I'm
God.
not saying that's like all you're supposed to do, but like I'm just saying that like within that, there's probably like for me, like helping people could be um, giving to the poor, but it could also be like through my music, like just the things that I've gone through, just writing that down in lyrics and like going and you know putting songs out there that like other people you know feel like, oh well, I'm not alone in this and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah,
But for you, it could be totally different, you know, like what helping people looks like. But
yeah. No, I feel that. Well, I guess yeah. For me, like I don't know. God never really like revealed any like specific purpose to me or like spoke to me, and yeah, I mean like I'm doing research on it and trying to figure out like if he exists. I think even like the debate last night was kind of a demonstration that there's good arguments on like both sides. Like we had like two PhDs come together and they were debating, and I think both of them did well. I want to say the atheist did better, but like I'm not saying that with confidence. I'd say like I'd probably say like 40% of myself wants to say the atheist did better, but like 60% of myself is like no, they were equal. So it's not even like a confident like the atheist one. It's kind of like, well, I think, but not really.
yeah, no, I hear that, bro, because like I feel like I can be biased towards Christian to like Christian when they're debating, just because like if I go into it leaning more towards Christianity, I feel like I tend to relate to the topics or the points that the Christian's making more than the atheist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I really like the problem of evil that he like ran. It was sort of a problem of evil, and that you know God, whether God was doing things intentionally or just instinctively. And then yeah, they brought up a lot of like really cool things. They said when it comes to morality, there's this issue with morality. Is morality something that's like outside of God that God's adhering to, or is morality something that is just part of God's nature and He's just doing these things because that's who He is? Um, but that's a pretty interesting conversation to like have, because like if it's part of God's nature or if it's coming from God's mind, then it's subjective. If it's like outside of God, then I guess it's objective. But it's also weird that God is like following this external rule book in regards to like morality and what it is. So is a pretty weird predicament to like be in. Um,
Yeah.
but wait, actually, do you think there would be any problems if like morality was like objective, um, and it was outside of God, and God was just adhering to some kind of standard that exists as a
Do I believe that there's any problems if morality is objective and it's outside of God? Was that the question?
yeah. So like, let's say the morality is like some like inherent like character trait of reality, and God is just adhering to this ruler that kind of naturally exists. Would that be like an issue? Like
I'm trying to think of what that would be like. Um,
so Genesis,
what
like God is hovering over the waters, and when He's creating the world, when He has this morality that He's adhering to, it's not coming from His mind. It's not part of His nature. It's just some objective standard that somehow exists that He has knowledge of that nobody else has knowledge of.
yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about that. Like, I mean, I don't think it'd be a problem for me because I kind of like, as far as like my own, like how I'm going to treat people and stuff, like, I feel like I'm still going to treat people the same way. Like, you know, when people ask me, like, you know, if God told you to go, like, unalive somebody, would you do it? I don't understand, like, when Christians say they would, but, um, but I don't think that's what you're asking me.
Hmm. Oh wait, say that one more time.
You know, like a lot of atheists will pose the question, like, if God told you to go unalive somebody or do something, you know, bad, would you do it? And some Christians will say, yeah, just because they're like, oh, well, God said I should. But like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't follow that.
And then actually, that's also something else that they talked about. They talked about divine command theory. Are things good because God says that they're good? Or are they good like, well, I guess like outside of God?
Yeah,
Um,
it's like the Euthyphral dilemma or something like that, right?
yeah, they mentioned that, and so yeah, like there was things from that debate I was picking up, and I was like, wow, this is very interesting, and like it's really cool to see like PhDs talk about it. Um, and then there were other things like philosophy that was going over my head, and like, um, dude, I was like I don't like that. Like someone in the comments was like, Coco, are you falling asleep? And I was like, damn, I look tired as fuck. But bro, people don't understand how much I like pour into like social media. Like I don't think I'm gonna make it. But like I have my days, it's kinda like I'm doing really well. I think I'm gonna make it. And then like, other days is like, I couldn't care to do this. Like I'm not gonna make it. There's like 50 people on the internet doing the same thing I'm doing. Like, but yeah,
Hey,
it's
what
good.
up, man? I'm gonna share your live right now to help out a little bit, you know?
Yeah, but also like I don't mind that there's not that many people. I'm chilling. But okay, wait. Before you go, Raz, what's up, Missy? How goes it?
Meh, I'm doing well.
Me too.
I just ate a
Same.
peanut butter and honey sandwich.
Lucky you don't have the character trait that other people have, where they're allergic to peanuts and like.
Can you not eat peanuts? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, no, no! You're totally okay. It's just that some people say that like if you're lactose intolerant or if you can't eat peanuts, you're like naturally selected to like unalive. Like I don't know where they get that from, but it's kind of like I wouldn't survive out in the woods or something. Like I don't know. Maybe I'd like get a cut and then I get grazed in the cut by peanuts and start reacting or something. I don't know.
I don't think that's how allergies work, but I don't know. I don't know. So maybe that is how allergies work. Who knows?
Yeah, but like I
I
don't
don't
know.
think that's the case, though.
Wait, that's a real thing?
But
People think that if you have like an allergy that you weren't meant to survive by yourself or something.
or like there's this I don't know. There's this thing where it's like if you have an allergy, like I don't know. That's kind of like something. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say.
Genetically, if you had been born 200-300 years ago, you would be at a significantly higher rate of unalivement than otherwise. So I think, yeah, it actually does play a role into survival of the fittest, but
Yeah.
we don't live in that type of society anymore, right?
That's the conversation I think that happens. It's like you're kind of in the pool of like people who wouldn't survive. Like,
I wouldn't survive. I was born blind.
wait, wait, how blind?
I have a -12 in my one eye. For anybody who knows what this is, I'm a negative 11.5.
Because people say they have like what is it, 40/40 vision or like 50/50 vision? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know all that. I only know prescriptions, like negative prescriptions. But
Yeah. Oh, but yeah.
also, can I make you an atheist?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm sort of leaning towards atheism,
That's
but
okay.
I'm
So-
definitely open-minded to Christianity.
So here's the thing like it's ironic because I'm the opposite. I'm very agnostic towards other religions, and I am very atheistic towards the Christian God.
Yeah.
How do you contend with the contradictions within his attributes?
In regards to like problem of evil and stuff, or like,
Not just that, omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence,
well, with
all
those
of those would be in contradiction with each other, right?
How is it a contradiction?
How so?
Yeah, so because in order for someone to be all-knowing, right, they would have to have access to all knowledge, but they would have to have more than that, right? They would have to be knowledge. And so in order to know all of knowledge, you are knowledge.
Knowledge, though?
You are not. Couldn't the Christians just say
God,
that
knowledge
is
is the
Yeah, and so then let's go into free will. A lot of so that's incompatible with free will, right?
Let me see
Can't
what
be omnipotent or all knowing and have an indeterminate system.
Wait,
It has to be determined if it is going to be under that, right?
I have a
If-
question. You jumped way too fast. You said he has to be knowledge. Isn't God knowledge though? Because that came from
That's
him,
what I
right?
just that's what I just claimed. I said that he would have to be knowledge in order
So
to know all knowledge. Yeah.
when you say he has to be knowledge, meaning that he's not a rational being, like what do you mean he has to be knowledge? Because only
So
rational beings have knowledge, right?
I never said that he was irrational. I was saying that there are contradictions within his attributes when it comes to like what we see around the world, right? So if we see free will, which is what's often portrayed within Christianity, that's incongruent and it is in direct contradiction with both omnipotence and
I don't
omniscience.
understand what is the correlation between him like knowing all things and the way the world is. What is the correlation there?
I'm saying that in order for God to be omni, he would have to contain all of the parts of that thing. So, in order for God to be all powerful, he would have to contain all power, right? So that's what I'm saying. He has to contain it all.
But he does though. Like what creation of his have the power to destroy even the universe? No one
Wait,
can do
by the way,
that.
by the way, wait. This is Randall. This is right.
And they banned me because I was we talk, man. They're crazy, man. But I got a backup. They can't stop a brother from spreading the truth, man.
I mean, we could
know that.
continue to talk about the contradictions, but I was kind of talking to Coco.
Oh, but no, you guys can go ahead. I think there.
Yeah,
I,
but
for me,
that-
I
but
think
that-
there would just be like there would just be some premises that would lead to contradictions. But I think like the only reason that I think that having all knowledge and free will existing would be like a contradiction if that is combined with like creating everything and having all knowledge. Um, so like I would say like God having all knowledge before creating everything and then creating everything would be like a contradiction. It would lead to like contradictions in regards to like free will because like essentially like humans are just like trains on train tracks. We're just kind of like doing things that God knows that we're gonna do. So like if God knows that like I'm gonna lie before I lie and I lie, I'm literally just like a zombie human doing what God literally created me to do.
Here's the thing, Coco. God is not telling you to lie. You're the one doing that on your own free will.
Yeah, but
There's
like,
no such thing as free will.
Let me finish though. So he just knows what you're gonna do. It doesn't mean that he's making you do it. That's why at the end of the day you're gonna be held accountable.
well, yeah, but like the thing is like currently I hold to hard determinism, but I am I'm confused a little bit because I want to hold to like compatibilism because I like it feels like I have free will.
I want to hold to it because I feel like that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, like I feel like I have free will, but when I think about it rationally, I don't think I have free will.
Right.
Because everything has a causal principle. Everything's going to be determined by its causal principle. Um, so like, if I don't believe that God exists, that's because like the neurons in my brain are firing off, and they don't believe that God exists. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of background from you or echo from you, Randolph.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, but I'll wait till he comes back and then I'll continue.
Yeah, I would say that most of the time when people bring up free will and all knowing and stuff, usually it goes in the direction of like the difference between knowing and causing. And I'm not good at explaining all that, but like if John were up here or something, like that's usually the direction it usually goes in.
So for me like I think like everything is dictated by like some kind of like causal principle. And so like the fact that I don't believe in God, like I don't really choose not to believe in God. I mean, I could take part in actions to try and believe in God. I could like get on my knees and pray. I could like pretend like God is real, but I don't think I would ever legitimately believe it. And I think it's because like neurons are firing off in my brain and I find the evidence presented to me to not be convincing. And I don't think I choose my beliefs, and like there's always like some kind of causal principle that's dictating my like actions or like my beliefs or the positions that I hold. Although like I struggle, like I'm a hard determinist, but I struggle because it feels like um, I have like free will. I feel like a compatibilist, but logically I'm a hard determinist. And like the other day I was actually thinking while I was like in the kitchen or something, I was like, we don't choose our beliefs, but um, like I feel like what if I did get on my knees and start praying? What if I did like try Christianity again? Could I possibly choose my beliefs? But like it's something I struggle with, but like
Wait, Coco.
I'm still like solving that out.
Wait, Coco. Just quick question, man.
Knees and choose out.
Wait, Coco. Just quick question, man. You're saying you don't have free will? Is that your conclusion? You believe you don't have free will, or
As of
free
right
will?
now, yeah, like I don't think I have free will. I think I just kind of I'm a product of some kind of causal principle, and I have this illusionary sense of free will.
So why do we have laws that criminalize individuals that do some certain things? Like that shouldn't be the case because obviously we don't have free will. It's not their fault.
What do
It's
laws
based
have to
on.
do with morality?
Let me finish though. It's based on what caused it, right? But we hold humanity accountable for their actions. So that's a choice. Now, I would say that we have limited free will, not necessarily because you can't really fly, you can't do some certain things. You're limited, but you still have free will.
I would say like that is a good question. Someone asked me that the other day. Like, if you're a hard determinist and like you believe that everything is because of a causal principles, and we as human beings are just doing things, or we're just the result of causes, then like someone could take that and do like a hard reductio and basically be like, okay, so like, what do you think about Hitler? Did he make the choice to do what he did, or like was he just like
That's a good
doing
one.
it out of
He
like
was
out of
he was
control?
predetermined to do it. Like or not predetermined. He was causally. He was going to do that. There was no way that he could have done anything other than what he did do. And
Why?
so
Yeah,
we
Why?
cannot hold people like
okay.
on a we can't hold them morally responsible. Now on a societal level we can hold them responsible.
Yeah.
So, Missy, are you saying if I murder your dad, you're gonna say it's based on causation?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So everything humanity does is not their fault.
I don't know what you mean by fault there. Now we're talking about responsibility.
There's no accountability on their end.
So again, we're jumping around a lot. We went from morality to responsibility. So which one are we talking about?
Oh, hold on. If it's not their fault, why do you care about morality? Even if it's right or wrong, who cares? It's not their fault, so they're not to be held accountable. That's what you're saying. I just actually, if I murder your dad, you say it's based on.
Yes, you are causally determined to do that.
So you wouldn't hold me responsible?
I would
Matthew,
hold you responsible on a societal level, yes. On a moral level, no.
wait, hold on, really quick, guys. Matthew, please come up. I want to talk to you
No,
about
I love
determinism.
talking about determinism. This is my shit.
Yeah, Matthew, I would love to talk about determinism with you. Right
Matthew,
now.
I'm becoming an incompatibilist. A hard incompatibilist.
Determinism.
Like I literally borrow from Matthew. I think he has like really good stances, and he can explain this like some like way better than me. But then I also have questions about like his views. Sometime I do need to ask him the questions, um, but yeah. So like so ultimately like yeah like I think that's kind of a tough bullet to bite because if you're saying like okay hard determinism everything is due to like a
Look,
causal
even Matthew
principle.
said I got this.
Oh yeah, Matthew's saying like, yeah, because you're smart. But if you believe in hard determinism and everything is caused by a causal principle, right? And essentially like human beings are like kind of out of control. They're just the result of like causal principles. Then yeah, you would have to say like, oh yeah, when it comes to Hitler, there was no chance that he couldn't have done what he did. He's literally the result of like causal principles. And then in regards to like why do we have laws? I think like you can just dive into utilitarianism. We are basically the product of like the neurons firing off in our brain, and in order to create a society where we can like live happily, we're just reacting to like all of the like what dictates a decision is both internal and external. So I think like the neurons, our biological components, are determining like what decisions we're making, but there's also external factors that are determining what decisions we're making. And essentially, what we are is just like we're monkeys walking around, reacting to internal and external stimuli, and that's causing our decisions. So essentially, like we make laws to create a society where we don't experience harm because we undergo harm and our brain doesn't like harm. People don't like to be stabbed. People don't like people to get murdered. We have this like evolutionary form of like empathy, and so given hard determinism, you just react and you create a moral system, and you can still have laws. But it's honestly something we would see
You're
given
missing the
hard
point.
determinism.
You're missing the point. No one should be punished for their actions because
Why
it's
is that
based on
entailed?
causation. It's not their fault.
Wait. Why is that entailed? So
Yeah, because
Using fault wrong. Sorry.
when I say fault, I'm saying it's not. They are not to be held accountable because obviously it's not their fault that they act that way. They just react. Like,
How would you
let me finish.
define responsible then?
Wait, let me finish. So it's like he said, like the host said, they just react. Like for example, if I have not had sex with a woman and I see a woman just walking down, I react so I can rape her, right? And that's okay according to your paradigm. It's based on
Whoa, what?
No,
You see how that doesn't make sense?
there is no
Huh?
okay
Wait,
or
hold
not
on.
okay.
You see how that?
Also, like, you're
Yeah,
just
I went
putting
there, bro.
words into my mouth.
No,
That's
I'm just
fucking
trying to tell
wild.
you guys. I'm trying to tell you guys this idea,
Right.
this philosophy idea is wrong and is dangerous for society.
These guys lost.
Thank God we don't operate like this, man.
Wait, hold on. We're not saying that it's okay. We're just saying that it's caused due to like a causal principle. We can still have morality, or we can still have a reaction to that thing that's happening and say like this is wrong, given like an evolutionary sense of like empathy. And then also, yeah, neurons are firing off in our brain. Of course, there's like psychopaths and sociopaths that are born who think like going around murdering somebody is like morally neutral or like good in some cases.
I was gonna ask you, host, how do you feel about like, as far as determinism goes, if you take that and apply it to like marriage and like love and stuff like that?
That's actually very interesting, and actually, like, I love.
I have a great response for this, Coco, because I'm married and I'm a
Okay.
hard determinist.
Okay, go after me. But like, I have a good response to this.
Yeah, I'm married too.
And like, I like the response I'm gonna give, but then also like I'm not sure of it. So I think like we can't choose the people that we fall in love with. Actually, that's what I think. Yeah, no, dead ass. Because okay, think about it. There can be somebody who is like who you're not attracted to because like you look at them and your brain chemistry just isn't attracted to this person, and you could force yourself to be attracted to this person, and you're never going to be attracted to this person.
No,
Right?
the
So,
societal
like,
conditioning tells you that you are not attracted to this person, but your biological imperative and the fact that you share and enjoy each other's biochemistry shows that societal standards are shit.
well, I totally agree with you. I think society can play into like what we deem to be attractive and not attractive, but I also think that like you might have like a personal like you could have like a personal just like your brain doesn't like somebody, right? And I don't think it's just like how somebody looks too. It's also like again external stimuli, right? You talk to this person, you guys have the same cartoons, you guys like the same color, same restaurant, or you guys just match when it comes to like
What
you're
about like
talking
the
about.
vows? What about the vows at your wedding day? Like, is that something that you're not choosing those vows?
I think you are just reacting to external and internal stimuli, and when you say those vowels, it's just a product of some causal principle, external and internally.
Hey, host, this ain't Disney Channel, man.
This is literally like it makes sense. Like it's the most sensible thing I've ever said. Like actually, I'm hearing myself, and I'm like everything's determined.
I can understand what you mean by that, and I'm not. It's hard for me to believe that if are you married, bro?
No, but I've had a girlfriend in the past.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that if you were married, that's the stance you would.
I would
I don't
say
know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
It took me months to come to terms with the fact that I didn't choose this person, that I didn't choose this love, this incredible love that I feel, right? It took me months to come to terms with that.
You didn't choose it.
Well,
No, I didn't choose it. It was causally
I guess-
determined.
I guess it's hard for me to believe that somebody can believe that they're not choosing to be committed to that person.
Because think about it, right? Like, so like, okay, after this, yeah, I'll let Missy go, but like, because like, there could be
Something, Coco?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, when you're done with your statement.
Oh, okay, yeah. So basically, like, hold on, I'm playing Dispatch, but like, give me 1 second. But there could be this person that physically you're not attracted to, and then you talk to them and they just spew complete garbage, and like nothing about them is like attractive to you, and that is out of your control. Your brain is processing external stimuli and also internal stimuli, like your biology, your neurons are firing off. You just don't like this person. Also, when it comes to schmecks, right? You see a hot chick and like your brain processes this hot chick and blood starts flowing to your parts, right? That's out of your control. Like all of that's going to be dictated. Like you can't choose these things.
Wait. Can I ask you a question? Hold on.
Do I have the choice? Do I have the choice to cheat though?
Wait, let me ask you this question real quick, man.
See, that does get tricky, actually.
Hold
It
on.
depends on how you
It's so
use
tricky.
Really quick. Now that Coco's
Wait, guys.
Now that Coco's done, I just
Bump
want
by blood, wait, bump by blood, and then rage.
Just
I was up to
confusing
go.
perspective domains.
1 second. So as I'm understanding it, Missy, you said you're hard determinist, right?
Indeed.
Okay. So I think there's going to be like two primary issues with hard determinism. Well, three. So one is going to be called, it's like the ought implies can sense. So the ought implies can is where you say, if you ought do something, then that means that you can do that thing. But under hard determinism, ought does not imply can. And so you run into an issue there.
Yeah, I don't understand what you mean by ought and can there. Can you give me a little bit more?
Yeah. So
Like the
when you
will
say,
and can, right? Because
when you say you ought not unalive,
well, I don't make
someone
ought claims. 'Cause
unjustifiably.
I'm a moral anti-realist, so I don't make ought claims. I don't think that there are things
you
to
can
do.
still make ought claims even if you're like a moral anti-realist.
I'm trying to think of like an ought claim that I would make. I genuinely do not hold a claim like that.
Okay, so if someone came to you and said, I am going to go out and grape another person, you wouldn't say you ought not grape another person?
No, on a so when we're talking about this, I mean like on a meta-ethical, metaphysical, right? We're talking about
that's what I'm
these sorts of
saying.
things.
So you have an ought claim there. It's like if a person says, I'm going to go do this.
I would tell them, like, hey, you should not do this. Do I
Yeah, that's an
hold
ought.
that they should not on a meta-physical or meta-ethical level? No, I do not hold that.
Yeah, they ought not do something, right? It is the case that the person who wants to grape a woman, they ought not do it.
What do you mean? Like under what paradigm are we saying on a societal level? Are we saying it is morally incorrect? Which one are we?
No, just your paradigm as it pertains.
Okay,
Do
on
you
a
agree with
societal level, I can say that. Yes.
No, just the proposition, right? They ought not. There's a sense in which they ought not do this thing. However you want to like cash that out is up to you.
Again, I'm kind of confused because I'm not making any ought claims.
No, I'm asking you on the the proposition is someone comes to you, or the hypothetical, someone comes to you and says they're going to go grape a woman, right? You agree with the proposition they ought not go grape the woman.
No, I'm not making an ought claim. I would never say
I'm asking,
either they would or
do you
would.
agree with that though?
Wait, hold on, guys. Wait, really quick. Pause.
I,
ISO.
no.
Wait, hold on, guys. Pause real quick. ISO. You're excited too, right? Dude, this is so fucking epic, right? Like,
No, it was cool. No, it was really cool to see you up there with that. Big John, that shit was sick, bro.
I was co-hosting for a professional debate between
I know,
two
bro. That
PhD
Ryan
scholars.
Nolan, 2 PhDs and everything. That's crazy.
I think
I'm
that's
proud
just-
of you too, Coco.
No, it's so fucking lit. I think that's like such a like huge like
Dude, I hope.
step up from what I usually
the
do.
next major debate like that is when there's like some other debate that's gonna happen. You know?
I mean, like PhD scholars are kind of hard to get, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, really quick, I'll say on that, Coco, you kind of left. You had to go, but good job on the timekeeper and everything like that with the debate. So I was no one saw me. I was in the background the entire time, just looking at everyone.
Yeah.
But so listen, the only thing you have to do if you want to pick some people that you want to try to do a debate with, and then just email them and be like, hey, are you willing to do this, and set something up. So that's all I did. I had a connection through Tim. Tim got me to Nathan. Nathan got me to Steven. Steven accepted the debate with Ryan. So yeah, if you knock on the doors of like these philosophers, you knock on the doors of these scholastics and academics, then you're going to be able to set up high-profile debates.
Yeah. So I think like for future PhD debates, like I'd probably just have to email them. I don't think like they have TikTok. I think like Ryan Mullins is like the only person that has a PhD with TikTok. I mean, like there might be several others, but yeah, like just finding their emails and like emailing them, and we could literally get like William Lane Craig. We can get like Alex O'Connor.
that'd be
so many different people. But yeah. But yeah, go ahead. You guys were talking about like determinism and the ought problem for determinism, hard determinism.
There's no such thing as an ought problem because determinism isn't saying anything about ought.
No. This is strict within the literature against hard determinism. So when we're looking at free will, libertarian, compatibilistic, soft determinism, or hard determinism, there's a legitimate problem, and it's called the ought implies can problem. There's other problems that are going to be considered like morality and things like that, but the ought implies can't hold true as it applies to hard determinism. Another one is like the self-refutation problem of hard determinism. So if you say, okay,
that's the major one, right? Like the self-refutation. Like it cannot be. The only way it can be proven is in the way that it is in itself. Like it has to. It's like logic in that way, right?
Well, yeah, it's self-refuting under the notion of which you just say, okay, are your beliefs determined? And then the person says, yes, all of my beliefs are determined. Is your beliefs in hard determinism determined? The person says, yes, my beliefs in hard determinism are determined. And so that has no actual weight over any other theory, because then you're just saying, okay, under that notion, under the self-refutation problem, you can't actually reason to truth. You're not allowed to reason to truth because your beliefs, they're just determined beliefs. So, but that's a big problem. But no, the ought implies can. It is a major issue.
I guess I'm running across. I just genuinely don't understand where this like ought and can is coming from in the terms of determinism. So you're asking me, can I get could I make an ought statement? I would say no. I'm not going to make an ought statement. I'm not going to make an ought claim, and I don't understand where determinism and hard determinism has a problem with ought statements.
So it's in conjunction. It's not just the hard determinism, but it's as it pertains to like an ought statement. So
okay. So then in that case, it wouldn't be refuting determinism in and of itself. It would just be refuting determinism as it correlates with like metaethics or morality.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But that's where the primary issues within hard determinism really go, is like on moral claims or whatnot.
For sure. And
so the self-refutation problem goes directly against determinism as to undermine the truth value of whether or not determinism is true. But hard determinism as it applies to moral culpability is another problem.
I mean, well, there's no such thing. I would just just say that. Like, under a hard determinist model, how could I hold to a system where individuals can genuinely ought statements? Such as, you ought not do that because it will cause harm. And we as a society limit harm. And you as a part of this person in this society.
But on a societal level, right? So even if you take the societal level and you say, you ought not do something, ought implies can, right? So you can choose another option.
No.
Yeah, then if ought doesn't imply can, that's where the issue lies. So even on a societal level, when you say this person should not grape this other person, right?
So when we're are we talking about capacity? Are we talking about like if we're saying you ought not do that, I'm saying like you have the physical things to do this,
or no,
right?
Like I think I know what you're talking about, and I think I did struggle with that one day when I was thinking about like hard determinism. So like essentially, if we're saying that like everyone's just a result of like causal principles in society, where I say like when I say like Schmurder is wrong, I'm saying that as if like human beings have the ability to choose not to Schmurder, but like by hard determinism, people are just reactions to some kind of causal principle. So like when you say something is wrong and people shouldn't do that, I mean like it's kind of conflicting with this attitude of like we're just reacting to other things. So I sort of get the issue. It's like, how can you hold somebody responsible who's just like the effect of a causal principle?
Yeah, that has absolutely nothing to do with determinism. Because determinism doesn't restrict the can, and it's not the can as in you have the choice to choose one or the other. No, the can is it capable of not taking an action if the prior antecedents line up? And yes, that is possible in a deterministic system. Either way, determinism has zero to do with moral culpability because it's just a category error. If you're talking about the ought can problem within a moral system, as like determinism would point towards a moral system, that's a completely different category. It has nothing to do with what determinism is in its own bubble, in solitude, in isolation from these other conditions. Ought has nothing to do with what determinism is.
Well, yeah. So like I totally agree. Like if the prior conditions are correct, the person does have the ability, I guess, to react like a different way, right? And so like, you know, the cause is going to lead to some kind of like different path, but that's only if like the antecedents like cause them to react towards that path. But like it seems as if they don't really have a choice. They're really depending on like causal principles in order to make certain decisions. Like, does that seem the case, you know?
Yeah,
The causal positions are going to lead towards actions, but that has nothing to do with oughts as far as determinism is concerned. If you don't like the way morals fall under a deterministic system, that's irrelevant, right? What's relevant when talking about determinism is whether or not effects are necessary from their prior antecedents. That's the only thing that is required to discuss.
Wait, so
but what that leads you to is a situation for when you say someone should not do an action or should not complete an action under like a meta-ethical system, right? In conjunction with this hard determinist view. When you say someone should,
again, this is a category error. You're discussing morality and meta-ethics, not determinism.
A category when I say it's in conjunction, Matthew.
Wait, John,
it is a category error because it has nothing to do with determinism itself.
That's not how category errors work. I'm saying it's in conjunction. A category error.
The category being discussed is determinism, not the conjunction of determinism to morality. There is nothing about it that causes a problem with determinism.
No,
that causes a problem with. No, it causes a problem with ought statements in the moral concern, not the determinism.
Thank you.
The point is, under hard determinism, you can't have ought statements at all.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't, because ought does not imply
can. It doesn't imply free will cans, as in you can choose between one or another, but it does have the ability cans. The prior antecedents can line up with education and structure to allow actions to be taken in a specific way. That is a can. An
Hold on, hold on.
individual
So
can
let me
be
just give you
led to
something
take one
productive.
action or can be led to take another action depending on the antecedents. And with a social system that has a moral code of X should be taken and Y should not be taken, then education and the social norms are going to be prior antecedents that lead to an agent taking an action. So
I just don't.
yes,
I have
odds
no
can
idea
lead
what
to
you mean.
cans in determinism.
No, I have no idea what you mean by can there.
Then you're not listening.
So listen, right?
I just
When
explained
I
it from
say-
A to B, and you didn't listen to a word I said.
No, because your
So
definition was not informative.
Wait, really quick, just one question. Wait, Matthew.
Can
so
is the
whatever-
ability to take an action.
Wait, hold on. So Matthew.
It is an
then that is a
ability-based term.
Guys.
Okay,
An
but
agent has the ability to do action X or action Y.
Then that's
They will
the
be
principle of alternative possibility.
I'm
Hold
speaking.
on. Wait, guys.
No,
hold on.
it's not. You are saying it's the position of alternate possibility because you're not listening to what I'm saying and you're jumping in halfway through without knowing what's being said.
Wait, Matthew.
Your
one
your
quick question.
ignorance of what is going to be said is causing you to say something silly. So
Listen,
the
I've
can
heard
I
what
don't
you
I'm
said.
speaking. I'm not going to listen to you when I'm speaking. All right? Coco, just let me get this out before you stop, all right? If by can we are talking about an ability to do X or Y. In determinism, the ability to do X or Y is going to be determined by your prior antecedents. If a social system or a meta-ethical system is in place that uses education, then the deterministic factors are going to lead towards an agent taking an ought towards X rather than an ought not towards Y, and it can be completely deterministic, and the can is still there. But it's not reliant on free will choice, it's reliant on prior antecedents. In either way, that has nothing to do with whether or not determinism actually is a system that is real or not.
You're invoking.
Again, it's
you're
the
invoking a
moral
principle.
cause.
No, you're invoking a principle of alternative possibility.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are. The moment
No,
you say
I'm not. I just literally told you I'm not.
Wait, guys.
I flat out told you I'm not. In this
Your view
deterministic
entails it.
system, the ought, no, it doesn't. Don't tell me what my view entails.
Wait, hold on. Just pause real quick. Sorry. One quick question, Matthew.
No, wait 2 seconds.
Okay.
You do not know what my view entails. I tell you what my view entails.
Though no, I know what hard
Wait,
determinism
Wait,
is.
hold on. Let me get a
And
question.
you're wrong, and you don't.
Wait. Matthew, so like whenever it comes to morality, right? Whenever you see like someone murder or like rob a bank, like are you saying like that person shouldn't have done that, or like if the antecedents were different, that person should have done something else? But like ultimately,
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. That's irrelevant to talking about determinism. Once the action is taken, determinism just discusses what prior antecedent led to that position. That's it. That's all determinism discusses, is that an effect is necessary from its prior antecedents and can be nothing else. When we're talking about ought statements, we're talking about future. We're talking about what will happen later. Nobody in this world has enough data to be able to state what all like prior talking to be able to state going to lead towards actions in the future. So what we have is the data that we can correlate based on the past and the present to see what actions are positive and what actions are negative.
Well, so
These are going to be deterministic as well, but that data is going to be a prior antecedent for future actions. So if we find that current, don't interrupt me when I'm speaking, dude. That's stupidly rude.
You're monologuing at this point, Matthew.
I don't give two shits, right?
Oh my
I could
gosh.
care fucking
Just-
less. I'm in the middle of my point. Shut your mouth. So if you have a position where the
You get
data that
60
you have,
seconds, go.
shut the fuck up. You don't
You
give
get
me time
60
here,
seconds.
dude.
Go.
You don't give me time here, dude. Shut up.
You get 60 seconds before I interrupt you.
You don't.
Okay, let's try to be
So
cordial. 'cause,
you don't tell me
no,
what to
Matthew,
fucking do.
Matthew,
That's
about
what
my
mods
blood.
in here do. That's what
about my
mods in here
blood.
do. That is my job in here.
Wait,
I
no.
don't do that for no reason.
Wait, Matthew, chill. That's about my
I
blood.
will remove him again if he interrupts me again. I don't care if he's a regular.
You enjoy the power trip?
chill, guys. Let's have.
Okay, so again, the data that we currently have is going to be a prior antecedent for what happens in the future. That means these causal influences that state that X is preferable to Y lead to a can. That's not a free will choice can, that is an ability can. Both actions are capable of being taken depending on the antecedents. That doesn't mean that determinism isn't true. And the ought still exists within that social paradigm and the meta-ethical framework of the people within it. Period.
Okay, okay, I guess I'll ask a question and then Bob Blood can go. But I guess like the thing in question is, if you hold to like hard determinism, and you're like building a worldview, how do you recognize how do you reconcile that with like any morality or like meta ethics you might have? Like, given that people are just like reacting to things.
Why would something I hold? Why would it not? Like, I just, when it comes to determinism for me, right? If everything is determined, then obviously that changes my meta ethics, and so I have become a more anti-realist because of that. But I guess I didn't fully understand what you were asking. Were you asking me that, or were you asking Matthew that?
Or I guess like all the hard determinists on the panel. Like, okay, so if you believe that like people are just like the result of like causal principles, and like you're building a worldview, so like one thing you're gonna hold to is like hard determinism. How can you, like, how do you go about creating some kind of like moral standard?
You go about creating an ethical standard, or not even an ethical, just like a social, right? Like we're not, when I talk about these things, I'm not talking about them in a meta ethical sense. I'm talking about them on the social level, right? We exist within a society that holds to a certain meta ethical principle. I exist within that society and that culture, and can engage in that culture. I'm not talking anything about meta ethics there.
Okay, so like let's see, but like if you hold to hard determinism and like you see somebody like raping,
you might be
hold on, or like really quick, or if you hold to hard determinism and you see someone raping somebody, I guess the question is like how are you saying that's wrong, or like what's your approach to that?
There's nothing about being a determinist that even approaches ethics or morals, because it's a category error. There's literally nothing about it. The ought or ought not, the right or wrong of something has nothing to do with how it is caused and whether it could have been different. That's again, that's a category error. What we can do is we can show that a person who holds to determinism is still capable of parsing data. Whether the data is parsed in a deterministic way or not doesn't matter. They're still parsing data. If the data they're parsing is accurate, the conclusion they come to can still be accurate. It doesn't matter if they had a choice about it or not. And if they're parsing data on the harm done by an action, they can come to a conclusion that that action is bad, whether it's deterministic or not. That's all morals is whether something is good or bad, right or wrong.
Okay, Coco, can I address this now?
Yeah. Okay, before you do, I think like what Bought by Blood is going to address after I say this is that, like, we understand that like morality has nothing to do with like hard determinism, but then we're asking you about your whole worldview. Given that in one corner you hold to like hard determinism, like
there's nothing about being a determinist that prevents you from parsing data, and you can build worldviews based on data that has been like observed and parse through to find out what the conclusion is. You are convinced by the data. It doesn't mean that you are convinced by something false and you that anything that convinces people is going to be false and that nothing can be trusted. That's ridiculous. We can still observe the reality around us and see if what has been determined is like comports with the reality around us and therefore is truthful.
Coco, go ahead. And then
Determinism doesn't stop reason.
No,
Okay.
it's
All right.
John's
So-
turn, guys.
go ahead.
Okay,
And then
fantastic.
Bobby can go.
So,
ahead.
yeah, so let me just ask you a question, Matthew.
Yeah.
Does the prior antecedent determine every future cause and effect?
No, prior antecedents don't determine anything. Things are determined by prior antecedents. Being determined does not mean that an object determines something to occur. That would be akin to stating that the prior antecedent is an agent making choice. What happens is that an effect occurs necessarily from a prior antecedent. We call it determinism, but there is no agent making a choice to make something happen. It's just cause and effect relationship. That's it.
Sorry, I cut out. I didn't actually hear your answer. I freaking cut out.
It's a poor semantic way to say it. It's not that a prior cause determines an output, because that's akin to saying that the prior cause has some sort of agency in what the outcome is. No, the way that it should be like said is that an effect occurs necessarily from a prior antecedent. There is no choice being made. It is just a cause and effect relationship, nothing more.
I agree to that. I hold to that as well.
Well, I didn't say any. My question didn't even say anything about choice. So my question was,
No,
is
I was
every
just saying why
future-
that's a poor semantic way to say it.
It was just a question. Is every
Yes.
future event determined? I can just ask it that way. Is every future event determined?
Every effect follows necessarily from its prior antecedent.
Wait. Okay.
I don't know how I can be more. I don't know how I can be more clear. I told you why the wording and
so if
verbiage
it's
you're using. Stop interrupting me when I'm answering you, dude. It's stupid when you do that.
You're just not answering my question.
All right, so I'm answering your question now. As you can remain muted while I answer your question, since you can't seem to listen when I'm talking. To say that something is determined by something prior to it is a poor semantic way of placing it, because it can be taken in multiple different ways, including that the prior antecedent is an agent that is deciding what the outcome will be. That's not a good way of saying it. That's a problem with the wording being used. So instead of that verbiage, I said that verbiage has problems. So the way that I am stating it is every effect arises necessarily from its prior antecedents. It's much clearer and much more concise and answers your question perfectly. Do you have a problem with it?
Yeah, so if you're just going to say it necessarily arises, then you're saying it could not have been otherwise, right?
No shit.
Okay, great. So if it could not have been otherwise, then in what sense, when you say someone ought not do something, when you
I
say
already explained this.
Wait, listen. When you say someone ought not do this, X action.
Yeah.
Okay. Under that notion,
I already explained this.
Listen. When you you have a person, they say they want to rape someone. You say they ought not.
How about we stop using this like emotional fucking bullshit? Don't want to take an action is fine. Stop using the emotion. Stop using the emotionally charged bullshit. Right?
Let him have
You don't have to bring up emotionally charged bullshit to try to push your point, because it doesn't change anything.
It's a reductive.
No, it's not. It's. I'm asking you a question. Why are you running?
X action should not be. I'm not fucking running from anything. I already answered your question. And you're repeating it for the fourth time.
No, I'm trying to ask it directly to where I get a very strict
I
answer.
answered it directly the last time. You not liking me on my answer doesn't change my answer.
No, you didn't answer it. I didn't.
Okay, so here's your answer. Because I already know your question, because you've said it 4 fucking times now. When a person ought not do something, that is a more... Shut the fuck up. You asked me a question. Shut the fuck up.
Wait,
Shut the fuck up.
What's wrong with Matthew, bro?
You gotta chill, Matthew.
You asked me this question 4 times. I don't need to listen to you ask it again.
Coco,
Shut up, listen to the answer, or go away.
This dude angry, man.
Coco, You better get a freaking muzzle on your dog.
You can be quiet too.
Yo,
You call me a dog one more time, I will remove you from the chat a fucking again.
You're just barking like one, so I can't make a distinction.
This dude on a power trip, man. He on a power trip.
Gave you the fucking warning.
On a power trip.
So
man.
the answer, you can be quiet now too, Beck. To answer your question again, when an ought statement is being discussed, we are discussing a moral system. Therefore, in the moral system of people ought not do X, the system is now going to educate on this moral system. Doing this education, we see that humans are capable of doing X or Y. Now, if the antecedents lead up to an individual doing Y, we can state that the moral system in place says you should not do Y. Now, that person didn't freely choose to do Y, but they did do Y. This is not a position where, given a single set of antecedents, a person should be able to have multiple outputs, because that's antithetical to determinism. So, of course, that's not going to be the case. But any individual is going to be able to do X or Y depending on what prior antecedents occur. Different antecedents lead to different actions. Therefore, different actions are in the realm of possibility because nobody is aware of what all antecedents will be in the future. This is a very, very fucking simple concept that I've answered 3 times now.
No, that's not even my question. So,
yes, it fucking is.
How do you know that?
Go ahead and change your question. Go ahead and change your question.
It's not a
Go ahead and be dishonest.
It's not a change of question.
Yeah, you came the exact same fucking thing. If a person does this bad thing, how can you say they ought not have done that bad thing if they were determined to do that bad thing?
No, I'm just asking.
Because determinism isn't a moral system. It has nothing to fucking do with that. Moral systems can arise in determinism, but determinism itself doesn't have anything to do with moral systems.
But when you say there's an ability to choose between X or Y.
No, I didn't say there's an ability to choose between X or Y, you dumbass. You keep saying that.
No, you did say that, Matthew.
I said, no, the fuck I didn't.
You did.
I said an agent has the ability to take action X or Y depending on the prior antecedents.
Man.
All right, dude, shut the fuck up. If you're going to, like, straw man my position, try to do it in an intelligent way. Because I never fucking used the word shut up. I never once used the word choice. I said that a person can do X or Y,
but they can't.
Depending on their prior antecedents and the deterministic factors that lead to an action being taken. And since nobody knows what those prior antecedents are going to be, the ability to do X or Y is not known until the prior antecedents occur. So when talking about a moral system and a deterministic system, we are talking about an overall position where people should not do X or people should not do Y. And then if a prior antecedent leads to an individual doing something that the moral system says should not be done, they could not have done otherwise because the prior antecedents didn't line up in that fashion. I've never once said they had the choice. I said until the prior antecedents occur, the ability to do other things is still in the air. The can is still there. They have ability too. I never said once that it comes from free choice.
Okay, so you have a person, right? And you're going to say that prior to them taking an action, they have an ability between X and Y, right?
Until the prior antecedents occur and are known, nobody can say what action will or will not be taken, and the ability to take actions is there. Prior antecedents may change because we don't know what's going to occur. Prior antecedents may appear to be lining up towards X perfectly, but some unknown variable pushes it towards Y. And we could not have predicted that because we are not capable of seeing every single variable. It's impossible. So the can is
I'm not saying
always
you have to have a
there
predictive model. Like, this has nothing to
without
do with what
a
I'm saying.
choice required.
A predictive model
It has nothing to do with
what I'm saying.
choice.
A
It
predictive
has zero to do with choice.
Yeah, but what is X and Y then?
Yeah, that would be the output of this deterministic system that is unknown.
Is that contrastive?
Again, when we are talking oughts and ought nots in moral systems, we are not talking about individuals' actions. We are talking about actions overall through a society. It's an entirety of the system, not, oh, Jim Bob over there shouldn't step on a crack. That's an ought not for Jim Bob, but for nobody else, that's bullshit, and you know it.
Is X and Y contrastive?
When we're talking about morals and these metaethical positions, we're talking about people should not do X. Therefore, this system should teach not to do X.
Yeah, so is X and Y contrastive?
Sure, why the fuck not? They're generic fucking variables, dude.
When we're talking
They
about
just differ from each other. That's all it is.
When we're talking about an action, if you're going to say they're contrastive, then there's going to be like a better option. So X is the better option than Y in the case of like a rapist, right?
Better in what
X,
modality?
Yeah, fill in X with they're not
better in what modality?
Right. Listen, X as in they're not committing rape.
Better
Y
in
as
what
in they
modality?
do.
What does better mean?
What do you mean? What does better mean?
What the fuck do you mean when you say better?
I don't even understand.
More aligned with your desires? Who the fuck cares? Better is such a stupid fucking word. It doesn't mean anything. It's nothing but your subjective opinion.
Not on my view. Like, that's your view.
Then what the fuck does better mean?
I do not understand why.
I am asking you to define the word better.
Yeah.
Can you not define the word you're using and tell me what the fuck you mean by the word you're using? Because I'm talking about determinism. There's nothing fucking about better in determinism.
You haven't answered
determinism doesn't discuss
Is there a question
better.
being asked? Is there a question being asked about like Bob by Blood? Are you asking him like?
So I asked if X and Y in the case of
you're asking is one better than the other?
finish.
What
Wait,
the fuck
Matthew,
does
hold
better
on.
mean?
Hold on, let him finish. Let Bob by Blood explain.
Yeah, so I asked when we were looking at the antecedents, antecedent is just going to be that which comes before, right? Someone coming before, it could be their biology, it can be their psychology, it could be a number of different things that are going to be the antecedent in why someone is going to choose X or Y, right? You are invoking, when the moment you say they have an ability between X and Y, given their prior antecedents.
I didn't say that once. Never once did I say that. I said in a group, the possibility of X and Y occur in a single causal chain. What occurs is necessary based on prior antecedents. You keep doing this jump back and forth and you don't listen to what I'm actually fucking saying. It's frustrating. No wonder I'm fucking pissed off. You haven't listened to shit I've said. You've taken everything I said and replaced. I haven't contradicted shit. You don't know what a contradiction is in this because you don't know what I've said.
No, I do. I could steelman your argument.
Go ahead, steelman it. Tell me what I said. Let's see how far you get before I tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, sure. So you're going to say that there is going to be prior antecedents and any future cause or any future effect, it cannot be known. But those prior antecedents or what comes before is going to determine an action between X or Y. And because it could not be known when someone chooses X or Y, then the decision that they make, even though it's necessary and determined, so if someone chooses X, they necessarily are going to choose X based off the prior antecedents. Did I miss something?
Yeah, that was complete gibberish at the end there. What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean they could pick between two different things? I never once talked about being able to choose between two different things. Hey, Brandon, shut your fucking mouth. I'm not a fucking bigot. You've been chasing me around for fucking 2 months now. You're an idiot. If you say anything about my family, you don't. Just don't.
I'm not saying anything about your family.
No, I said Brandon. There's a guy named Brandon who's been following me around talking about my wife and kids for fucking 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, so
I never once said a person chooses between X or Y. I said in a moral system, we understand that the people that follow the moral system have the capacity to do X or Y.
Then what is
Holy
the
fuck, are you gonna listen? Are you gonna listen? Are you gonna fucking listen?
This is what I've tried to get clarity on like 20
I am literally explaining it.
20 times I've tried to get clarity on this.
Literally explaining it right now. Let me ask my question. Talking over me.
Let me ask my question directly.
I am answering your fucking question.
No, you're not. Because you just keep going over the same script.
You asked me if you were right.
Mean?
You asked me if you were right.
Wait, listen.
Fuck you, shut up.
No, just let me ask my question.
No, you asked me a question. I'm answering it. Now you're changing it.
Very close to stepping in.
You asked me if you were right when you steel manned my position. I am telling you why you're not. Are you going to let me fucking finish or not?
All I want to know is this.
Are you going to let me finish or not?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Just let me ask the question.
So you don't fucking want an answer to your question.
You're answering something I'm not asking.
No, the fuck I'm not. You asked me if you were right steel manning my position. You weren't. I'm telling you how you were wrong. And instead of listening to how you were wrong, you are asking me another question to divert from what I was saying.
Because you said the same point 5 times. And
No,
the
fuck I haven't. Because you haven't heard the fucking point. Because I only got 3 words out.
No, you've gotten so many words out. I have not been able to talk, Matthew.
Do you honestly think that I actually got to the point of what I was saying to answer the question on whether or not your steel man of my position was correct?
You can just say, no, it's not correct. But you just said something there when you were giving your clarification.
I was telling you why. I told you it's not correct. It got jumbled at the end. This is why it was wrong, and started to explain it.
You said can't, so this is why I'm jumping in.
Instead of listening why, you started interrupting and changing questions.
No, because you said something again.
I did it. What did I say?
What did I say? Yeah, you said that can means the ability to do X or Y. That's what you just said.
The capacity within a population to do X or Y.
I think that's the same thing.
What does that even mean?
That's different. There is a vast difference between saying whether an individual can do one of 2 things versus saying whether an entire populace has the capacity to follow prior antecedents to either position.
Okay,
so an individual can only go to one position in a deterministic framework. A populace can go to multiple positions within an individual framework.
If there was only one person that existed, in the universe, would determinism still be true?
Yes, and it would have nothing to do with
it. Has nothing to do with the populace.
Fucking morals, moron.
It has nothing to do with the populace, then.
We're talking about morals, you idiots. Morals and what ought and ought not be done through a population doesn't exist. If a population doesn't exist, no fucking shit.
Yeah, so say you have one person.
There is a difference between saying determinism could be correct with no people existing. Because determinism doesn't fucking say shit about oughts and ought nots. I already fucking told you this. Determinism only refers to an effect being necessary from a prior antecedent. So when you ask me whether or not you can get to an ought or an ought not with determinism being active, we're not talking about determinism. We're talking about the moral system. There is no ought and ought not in determinism. So how can a moral system be compatible with determinism? I'm explaining it, but every fucking time I do, you jump in and fucking talk over me.
That is rich.
And
if
I'm
you think
sorry,
that's what's
Coco,
happening.
you're a coward for removing my mod privileges.
Wait, no, you're being hot-headed, Matthew. You're muting.
I
and
am
kicking Bob by
hot-headed
blood.
because of shit that it was done.
No,
He
Matthew,
wasn't
chill out,
muting
chill
me
out,
What
because he
was
chill
had to
out.
done?
have the
All you've
ability
done
to.
is
Chill,
talk
chill out,
over
chill
me.
out, chill out. No, I'm not a coward. I need to get it under control. And like you're a bit like trigger like with your mod powers. Like you need to chill. Like we're just trying to get like a mutual understanding here. Like I did it for a reason. You need to like calm down. You can't just like kick people left and right and like do whatever with
Yeah,
your
I'm
mod.
being muted now, and that was cowardly as shit. It was.
No, because
I
I have
mean,
to
you don't
control.
like
No,
you
I have
don't
to
like
control
it,
my. No,
but
I
it
have to
was.
control my live. Like you can't just do
You
whatever
just
you
want to
want.
What do you fucking think I was doing?
Well, yeah, but you were being too much.
I was
Like, and Bob by
getting
Blood is a
talked over.
friendly.
I
Like
was getting talked.
we're not allowed to
It
drop
doesn't
Bob by
matter if he's
Blood.
a friendly or not. You're not allowed to drop Bob by Blood.
Yeah, he's a regular, and like just
That's
like
bullshit.
I bet you
Special
can mute him.
giving people special privileges
I
when
give
they're
you
acting
special
like
privileges.
assholes.
Man, just respect people's panels, man, and shut up.
Shut your fucking mouth,
all
dude.
my-
Shut up.
I
You
give
have
all
nothing
my-
to
Oh,
do
you
with
talking back to the
conversation.
host like you got like the authority here.
Wait, Zach,
This
Zach,
is
I
what
don't need your
I'm
help.
gonna.
This that
So
white,
again,
this that white
Shut
privilege.
up.
Man.
Hey,
Morality.
everybody,
Fuck you.
let's take like
Hey guys,
Fuck
how
your
are we?
racist
seconds. Let's take like
bullshit.
10
Fuck off.
seconds and breathe.
So again, like I said, from the very fucking
Okay,
beginning.
here's the deal, Matthew. Matthew.
Please don't tell me to take
Matthew?
10 seconds. I'm not going
No,
to.
I'm not telling you to take 10 seconds.
I've been
what I want-
interrupted by
hang
like
on.
6 different people now.
I haven't even spoken to you. This is the first time I've spoken.
I know that's now it's 6
Excuse
people
me.
instead of 5 people.
Hang
I
on.
know. I was right in the middle of what I was saying.
Matthew.
Why should I hold on? Okay, yeah, I'm not going to hold on.
We're gonna have some
Why, guys?
decorum here. Dude,
No.
we need to have some decorum here. The
Why-
only
why
reason
are
I'm
other
here,
people allowed to
Matthew,
interrupt me?
please don't make me use the mute button.
Yeah, I can unmute
I
myself.
really would like to. Okay, well, mute yourself then.
As I was saying,
Wait, hold on. Just
Mute
let me get a
yourself.
word.
why do I need to why do I need to stop what I was talking in the middle
Because
of?
the
Because
host
we're
is
telling
trying
you
to
stop.
fucking
I'm
talk.
telling you to stop. And also,
No,
like,
you
you're not
were
the-
talking, Plum.
You're not the
You
only
were.
person who's been. You're not the only person who's been interrupted. Bob by Blood has also been interrupted. You've been interrupting each other like equally. Like I'm just telling you to like chill out. You're a mod. You're kicking him and like you don't want people to
Yeah,
interrupt
because
you,
he
but
was
you're also
talking
interrupting
over
him.
me and he was refusing to
You did the
stop,
same
even though
thing, Matthew.
you asked me why didn't I just mute him? I did.
I mean, yeah.
He unmuted himself and kept doing it.
Yeah,
And
but
since he
you did the same
unmuted and
thing.
kept doing it, I removed him.
Rich.
Bob by Blood, you guys were both
You were.
interrupting each other, right?
You
Like,
absolutely were. If you don't think you were,
I interrupted him upon monologues. He interrupted me upon a single
Yeah.
sentence.
and I wasn't monologuing.
Coco, do you mind?
So again,
wait,
it's
hold on,
bullshit
wait,
to
Matthew,
say that
before you continue,
I
let's-
should just have muted him because I did.
Well, yeah. Let's
Hang
hear
on,
what,
Matthew.
Let's hear what Plum has to
Hang
say.
on for
Get some
what?
other voice.
Why am I hanging on?
Because I'm telling
Why-
you to,
why am-
as the owner of the live.
Okay.
No, somebody
Coco,
else is
I'm
telling me
making an
to while I'm
executive
talking to
decision.
you.
Okay, I want to hear other voices on the panel. But,
We're
like,
kicking
that was
both
Plum.
of them right now. No, that was me. We're kicking both of you fuckers right now because I love you both, but Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey guys, my name is Kason. I'm 21. I'm a Christian, and I'm just looking forward to a good
Hey,
debate on
Jason.
TikTok.
Chill out. Plum is talking. Go
Okay.
ahead.
No, what we're gonna do, they can come back up, but they're both gonna take a good 5 fucking minutes before they can come back up because I don't really feel like having 2 people shouting in my ears. No offense. So, Matthew and Bob by Blood, I adore you both. You're taking 5 minutes. You can come back up after 5 minutes, go drink some water, and then chill the fuck out. And in fact, Missy, I hope you don't mind. You're going to be my countdown timer. 5 minutes.
Yeah, take a lap, John.
Responsibility, I guess.
Yeah, but take a breather, guys. Take a breather.
Yeah, just
I don't
the
even know what the
5-minute
conversation
timer.
was.
Hey, Coco.
Yeah, I know you're chill about my blood, but both of you guys need to take some time.
Coco, I was
5
curious.
minutes.
I never
Calm yourselves down, and then come back when you can have a calm conversation.
Okay. But What were you saying, Clinton? And then I'll address the other thing.
Yeah,
But no,
no, I was
okay.
I was just gonna say, I asked a question to you and Missy like before the whole thing got started, and then I invited John in here. But you were gonna answer my question, but then they started talking about like if I was to cheat on my wife in a deterministic like how do you feel about that as a determinist?
I mean, like that's kind of like it's tough because there is like an emotional tug there, in the sense of like people shouldn't be cheating on their wives, but like at the same time, I think that someone cheating is going to be the result of like external stimuli and like internal stimuli, to be consistent. So it's just going to be the result of like causal principles. And then yeah, I guess the thing in question is like how do I have a morality given that everything is kind of like the result of like causal principles. And I would just say that yeah, like I can come to conclude. I mean, Matthew said it perfectly. You can come to conclusions on right and wrong, given like internal and external influences.
I mean more like at a personal sense, like what would you do if you were in a relationship where you were married and the person cheated on you? As a determinist, would you feel like they were determined to do that, so you'll stay with them?
So, can I answer this, Coco?
But really quick, to address something. No, Matthew, like, look, I adore Bob by Blood. I adore Matthew, but also like I am trying to like run a live, and like yes, Bob by Blood was interrupting Matthew, but Matthew at the same time, like you don't want people to like interrupt you, but you do tend to like bulldoze other people and sometimes bulldoze me. And like for a while, I've been like pretty lenient with it, but like you've got to like chill and like yeah, like when it comes to special privileges, given like a lot of my friends who are close, right, I kick them less than I kick like other people, like Bob by Blood, who literally helped me book a debate with like Ryan Mullins and Stephen Kirshner. I'm gonna give him a little bit more privileges on my live, given that compared to like other people. I know that might be a bit unfair, but for close friends and people who know the literature, they're probably gonna get kicked a little bit less than like newcomers if they're like misbehaving. And maybe I should change that about me. But Plum kicked you, and in order to get the live under control, you're kind of just like railroading, and Plum's trying to speak, and you're like, no, I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to do my own thing, and like that's not fair to like me or like the other panelists who haven't got to talk that much. It's like chill. Sometimes you can like railroad, and like you don't want people to interrupt you, but like you'll interrupt people whenever you want to interrupt people, and like for a while I didn't really say anything, but now it's becoming a problem. So I have to like set that boundary and be like chill. Like if you don't want people to like
I think that
interrupt
this
like, you need to
conversation might
let
be
people.
better had personally.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess like maybe for some other time. But I mean, it's a
But
bit.
Coco,
So
Coco,
the reason
I really want to know your opinion on like if you're in a relationship personally and someone cheats on you as a determinist, do you feel like it's okay to stay in the relationship then, or
I would say I don't think you're like
what would you
entitled,
do?
or I don't think you. That's a good question. I would say like if someone cheats on you, and I'm a hard determinist. Yes, they're cheating on you given internal and external stimuli. I just think you're going to react based off of internal and external stimuli. So some people might stay in that relationship given how they're biologically put internally. I would leave the relationship given my internal and external stimuli. So people are just going to react differently to like that situation, but it's still just going to be due to like causal priors.
What about? I got another question. What about as the host?
Clinton, really quickly.
Before I forget this, what about as the host? Do you have like the choice to drop someone?
See, like these are good questions. These questions, like, they're the reason that like I sort of struggle and like flirt with compatibilism, and I'm like, okay, there might be like some free will, but like at the same time, if I'm staying consistent, I would say like, no, I'm dropping somebody because I'm reacting to how people are acting, or I'm reacting to internal and external stimuli. So my brain is saying, people are violating boundaries. I need to react. And then externally, people are violating boundaries. So I'm just a
I
product.
invited them back up.
causal
So
principles.
since you didn't drop John, then Matthew can't be upset with you, right? Because he's a determinist.
I mean, like,
You were
he
just
can.
They can be upset
Well,
with me.
And this is what I was really trying to get at. People think that determinists walk around like we've been lobotomized. Like that we go around being like, I don't make this and I don't do this. No. we're pragmatists, right? We all know that we like have the illusion of free will. And that makes having these kind of conversations difficult, right? When it comes to emotions, those are just gonna happen. They're also determined. And so if you're saying like how would you feel, I would feel determined.
Okay, quick disclaimer before you two start. Please keep it chill.
Yeah, I guess Missy. My only thing is, I guess it's hard, and I'm not trying to call you a liar. Maybe I am by saying this, but like it's hard for me to believe that you believe that. It's just because I can't.
It's irrelevant.
That whether you believe it, that I believe it, is irregardless of the fact, right? Like if my husband were to cheat on me, right, I would have the emotional reaction that would be determined. So I would have whatever reaction I would have, right? That I can't control that. I can't change that.
Yeah, no, I see. It's just I don't know. I'm trying to like put myself in the determinist mindset to like adopt the whatever.
So immediately, I would immediately look at, okay, what are the prior antecedents? What led to this? So that would be my first go-to, because like this is a determined action, right? It was determined to be so. What are the prior antecedents to this? What can I look at to see what could have happened? And that's what I do.
Yeah.
So
Essentially,
could it
like,
go back
like,
to
well, like
back to
everything's gonna have like a causal principle.
It's also irrelevant in determinism because your feelings about a system of cause and effect and actions that happen within that system have zero to do with whether or not they were determined. You may not like the outcomes of a deterministic system. That doesn't mean the system isn't deterministic. That's not a problem with determinism. That's a problem with the people in determinism and how they feel about it, right? It doesn't matter if you like it or not. A leads to B and B leads to C. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess I'm just still trying to wrap my mind around it because I don't know.
It's the problem is people keep trying to assign variables like right or wrong on a system that has literally no cares about right or wrong because it just doesn't have anything to do with what's right or wrong. It only discusses what arises from its prior causes, nothing else.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, but even if we were just to talk about like ethics, like by itself and not determinism or anything like that, like I still feel like deep inside that like there are certain things that are just they are what we ought to do and what we shouldn't do.
Yeah, that's personal feelings, and yeah, everybody has personal feelings. There's a lot of things that people think we should and should not do, but that's just emotion. It's just feelings. It's just subjective opinion. What happens is just what happens, and if it's deterministic, the moral consideration doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with it being deterministic or not.
Do you think it's possible that there's anything that all of us ought not do? That like
I think there's plenty of things we should ought not do, but that has nothing to do with determinism.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying for like the sake
That's
of
just
morality.
opinion. That's just opinions that I have. I have opinions. Yes, everybody has opinions. But that doesn't mean anything when discussing determinism.
No, I know. Besides the determinism though, like do you think like there's like oughts that are like beyond...
I do not think there's anything such as an objective ought. No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
No.
So that's hard for me to wrap my mind.
They're all stance dependent. They're all dependent on the value that we place on actions or the value that we place on what the actions are placed upon. So the value we place on an individual is going to give us an ought or ought not on what we should do to the individual, and the value we place on the action itself is going to give us a position on whether we think we ought or ought not take the action. And values are just going to be a position that's subjective. There's the value that we place on things. inherent value is just ridiculous. I don't even know what that would look like.
I hear what you're saying. It seems like we live like we do believe that things are objective, even though we say they're not.
Yeah, I would say that there are some things that are nearly universally agreed to, but that doesn't make them objective.
Do you think it's possible that they could be objective?
Logically possible, sure. I don't see any contradictions necessarily with there being some like idealist position that holds to like there existing a specific ideal that would be stance independent, that would lead to something along those lines. You can make an argument for it, but realistically, every single ought or ought not that we have is purely based on the values that we either place on actions or like objects or people.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting topic and conversation. But yeah, you guys can talk again, bro. I'm sorry for taking up time. I just I just wanted to know.
No, you're like entitled to ask questions just as much as everybody else on this panel.
Oh, those
Can
are good
I ask you
questions.
a question, Clinton?
What's up?
I said, can I ask you a quick question in regards
Yo,
to your
where's the
question?
smoke? I thought these two kids were gonna fight. Where's the
Like,
smoke?
chill out, sir. Chill out.
John was texting me all kinds of things about Matthew. I can't believe the stuff he said.
Yo, but you guys do gotta chill out. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay,
Plenty of people have called John an idiot in the past. It's not like that's anything new.
But I love you both. You guys are intelligent and brilliant, but like also
John,
like, don't interrupt each other or like railroad. Like
I didn't know you had such a potty mouth, man. The stuff you just texted about Matthew, it's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so Clinton.
Yeah. So here's the contention. The contention here is not determinism, but it's determinism in conjunction with moral, like ethics, responsibility, metaphysics, whatever you want to say, or meta ethics.
Then you would agree
And I
that's
think
not a
this is where
problem.
the confusion was,
That.
because this is what John and I were talking about, and I think that's where the confusion came from. Because John, you and I were talking about the interplay between.
No, I think John was directing that at Matthew. Go ahead, John. Continue. What were you saying about Matthew?
No, I was talking to Missy, and then Matthew came up. But here's the point.
Oh, you're gonna so you're blaming Matthew for interrupting Matthew? You can't take that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
the ought implies can.
What are you doing?
Right? So an ought is not just directed toward like a future tense. It's directed even to past tense. So when we say mustache man in Germany should not have done something, that should there is implying that he could have done something else. He should not have done it.
Why?
Right? Because ought
implied when there are multiple definitions for that.
Yeah, ought implies can. So even if you say that there's a prior antecedent that determines him to complete the actions, right? The moment that you say he should not have done it, I don't know what you mean there, because
It's just a failure in language. Then
wait.
it has
No,
nothing to do with determinism.
Then we're talking. Yeah, we're
No,
talking.
yes,
When
it's
you
directly
say can,
it's directly
are you
tied to it.
talking? When you say can, are you talking about the ability to do, or are you talking about?
Well, I'm just talking about the ought right now.
capacity?
I'm saying so. Talk about German man. Everyone in this live would agree he should not have done what he did, right?
On what level?
You might
It
want to
doesn't matter
like
which level. It actually
not
doesn't
It
matter.
words
does
in other
matter which
people's
level
mouth,
to me.
because I
You-
wouldn't state it in that way. I would state it in a much different way.
So I can take it any level that you would want, right? So if you want to say societal, if you want to say whatever, but when you say he should not have done something, and he could not have done otherwise, I just don't know what you mean by should there. I don't know what normative language is being implied there. And if you want to deny that, well, just let me finish this. If you want to deny that, and I would agree with this, determinism does not give a strict sense of oughts, right?
I'm confused, John. I thought you were.
You're still just saying when you say X, and I've never said X, right? So I don't know why you're even bringing that up. I don't use that kind of language. That's the exact reason when you said something that I thought was problematic with its semantics, I said, no, that's problematic with its semantics, and I'm going to state it in a way that's much clearer. Because the way you're saying it does not make sense, but it's not what I would say is a determinist anyway. So it doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
completely irrelevant.
So can I ask Bot and Clinton a question?
Sure.
Okay, Clinton and Bot, do you believe that everyone's behaviors are predetermined, and that therefore means that they have no moral compass to decide what they ought or ought not to do?
No.
No, that is
that has nothing to do with what I think.
No, that's what John. No, she's asking John and Clinton if that is what John is saying. John is saying that if the action is predetermined, then there's no odd that can be made there. That's exactly what John is saying. The odd's like a nonsense language.
So for example, let's say that I go out and I cheat on my husband. Does that mean that my cheating was predetermined, and therefore
I'm not a determinist.
No, like
I'm a compatibilist. So I can.
If you're a compatibilist, then how can you? If you're a compatibilist, then how can you think, in virtue of something being determined, that the agent can have moral responsibility?
Well, yeah. Bob I played is
You hold to the exact same deterministic system I do.
Hold on. So, Queen, we're not saying that it's predetermined. We're just saying that it's going to be like the result of like a causal principle. Like, it's not predetermined. It's just that somebody's going to take an action given like internal and external like stimuli.
What?
Like, we're not saying like, oh, things were like set in stone, but we're saying like,
wait, like, under what position?
Like hard determinism. Everything's gonna be caused by like some kind of causal principle.
Predetermined.
And you're saying that wouldn't entail predetermination?
When you state predetermined entails a plan set forth prior to. Determinism just means an effect follows necessarily from a prior antecedent, no planning necessary. Both can follow a position where what occurs will occur and cannot differ, but they have different implications.
That's not how determinism is defined in the literature.
I might have to like hash this out a little bit more. Like, does hard determinism entail like predeterminism?
No, it doesn't.
Determinism is spoken of. I mean, unless I'm like totally wrong or something, determinism is spoken about like within common literatures. If you take the initial conditions in conjunction with the laws, you take two possible worlds who have identical laws and initial conditions. They had the same causal history, and so yes, it would be the case that from the initial conditions and from the laws, you could, assuming you have perfect knowledge or whatever, you could come to know the future. And so
that's why I'm differentiating between the terminology of predetermined versus like effects following necessarily from prior antecedents, because the implication in verbiage is different when you're talking to people. When you say predetermined, that means that it comes across as being set up prior to. That implies planning, whether it's intended or not. That's just how it comes across in the discussion. When you discuss it from an effect, when you discuss it on an effects side, then an effect follows necessarily from a cause. That it comes from the back towards where we're at now. It just changes how people look at it.
Is anyone dropping?
Predetermined, I just meant the action would obtain no matter what, given that nothing else changed. That's why I meant that.
Sure, yeah, no, I would be fine with you saying that. It's just in general discussion that doesn't tend to be how people use predetermined, like the phrase predetermined. It far more commonly is used incorrectly. Sir, you're using it correctly. So are you, Kaysen. I have no problems with the way you guys are using it. It's just typically when it's used in conversation, it's used in a bastardized way that doesn't really fit what we're talking about.
Can I ask a question? Because there are like the hard determinist position, like Matt, you hold that?
Yeah.
So how do you like cash out for contingent objects existing?
I don't hold to contingent objects. I think contingency is an illusory. Oh, he vanished. Poof.
So you're an necessitarian?
A hard determinist, yeah, hard determinist would be a necessitarian. I mean, everything would be necessary because any effect is necessary from its prior antecedent.
Okay, so you just bite modal collapse. Like you just think that's an okay position to say that there exists
I don't think it
fail
comes.
to
I
exist.
don't think it comes to modal collapse necessarily.
It does.
I hold to infinite regression. No, I hold to infinite regression as well. So
it doesn't but step past modal collapse. Modal collapse just says everything is necessary. Everything must exist.
I just hold that everything does exist. I mean, yeah, it's all necessary, but it's probably semantics on how I'm like phrasing it. But
yeah, so everything
I don't really think it's a problem.
Okay, so
like it could not have failed to exist.
Yeah. So like when we investigate, like, do you believe that anything can be spontaneous, like in quantum physics, like decay? Like that doesn't seem to have like some sort of cause to it or established cause. So like, how do we account for this under the necessitarian framework?
There are positions that are held as being either probabilistic or even like indeterministic in some way, shape, or form. I wouldn't go like full on and say random. I think that's still way too far out. But I would hold to that possibly being hidden variables or just lack of understanding, lack of ability to gather the data that would explain it. Just it's something along those lines. But either way, we cannot verify whether it's indeterministic or deterministic. We can only go with the data that we have. Things may appear indeterministic, but on a macro scale, our universe appears fully deterministic.
So like you don't really have like, I guess a good explanation for why these things. Or are you just gonna say that? I mean, how do you even account for like probabilities and stuff like this? It becomes very hard to even say that there's a probability that exists. You know, it seems to like you seem to like
pragmatic skepticism.
Okay, so like, are you a frequentist? Like, you don't think like Bayesian priors are real?
I think it's a tool, but I don't think it's like a true existence. When you say real, it's a little up in the air on what you mean by real.
Yeah, what I mean is like Bayesian priors don't really like do anything, right? Like, there's no probability to be raised. Like,
we can use it as a tool, but I don't think it's necessarily a true thing, right?
What would be the point of using it as a tool?
Pragmatism.
What do you mean? Pragmatism? How does it follow pragmatically if nothing has probability to it?
It's not okay. So all we can observe is apparent probability, and the use of the apparent probability, whether or not we know if it's determined or indeterminate or just probabilistic, we observe it as having a probability. And when we use probability in a model, we're capable of getting data that is close enough to have a predictive model that is useful. That's just going to be a pragmatic position. We use the tools and information we have because it's the limit of what we have. But since we understand that since it's like pragmatic, we have a limit, there are things that are beyond our limit, therefore we cannot be certain of these positions, therefore we remain skeptic.
So like a dice, for example, has 6 sides. You would say that like the dice with 6 sides doesn't have equal chance of landing on one side?
No, there's going to be like minor variables between each side that are going to cause some sides to be more probable than another, but it's not based in like a probabilistic system. It's based in unknown deterministic variables that cannot be accounted for on every single roll of a dice.
Yeah, he could say that it's a 1 in 6 chance, all things considered, but there could be once he knows all the variables, he could know exactly what side it lands on. For example, he could say something like that.
Yeah.
And when he's calculating the probability, he can just say, "Look, I'm calculating the probability based on what's unknown, right? So the unknown variables are what leaves the probability space open. But once he knows those variables, then he'll know the result."
Yeah, that's the pragmatic approach because you don't have all variables. That's the reason probability is useful as a tool.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I think a worldview that rejects contingent objects or objects that fail to exist seem kind of silly. Like me having, blonde hair or something doesn't seem something necessary or fundamental to the universe's existence.
Oh, not fundamental, but it's necessary from its prior antecedents. The genetic code that came from the combining of your parents' genetic codes necessarily like exhibits a phenotype.
Well, how do you like cash out fundamental like existence and non-fundamental existence if all things are necessary?
Yeah, I don't really. It depends on how far down you go for fundamental existence. Because again, I hold to like an infinite regression. I don't hold to there being a start to anything. So if you're holding fundamental to be like the origination of, I wouldn't hold to that because there's no origination of an infinite system. If you hold to fundamental just being the lowest, like common denominator, right? The smallest substance that everything else is built from, that would be something that could exist in a deterministic system just fine.
Yeah, but okay, what I'm saying, like, it seems to be under the hypotheses put forward that all things must exist. All things must exist, and they have equal weight in existence, right?
It's that everything does exist, not must exist. There's must is a weird word to use for that.
Well, if it's necessary,
it couldn't be different because there's nothing that would make it different. If there was something that could make it different, that thing would have necessarily existed to make it different.
That's what I'm saying. So all things are fundamental that exist, right? Because there couldn't have been like any sort of failure to any system, right? Especially
but it doesn't mean I put equal weight on everything.
Even if we posit like infinite like time theory, so all things in the past, all things have existed, right? And all things are necessary.
Yeah.
What's
the problem with it?
All things are fundamental.
No, not all things are fundamental. Necessary doesn't mean fundamental. Necessary just means it could not have been any other way.
Well, there has to be a relation, right? So like for things like for you to distinct certain objects, there has to be like some sort of relation being recognized, right, between like non-fundamental and fundamental. But it seems to me
that's what I was asking before. If you're talking about fundamental as in the beginning, or fundamental as in the smallest building block, or what do you mean when you say
like,
fundamental?
For existence to be true, this thing had to exist.
Yeah. So if you're just saying if existence is to be true, this thing had to exist, that just means that which exists, right? I don't think there's anything that existence is necessary for existence. I mean, that just seems like an awkward way to state fundamental.
No, what I'm saying here, right, is that all things that exist are in relation to reality, or whatever. I don't know if your correspondence or relation.
That just means they all hold the property of existence.
Yeah, but the problem, or kind of like the problem why I would be like less inclined to take on a view that allows for this, is to say that like the fundamental blocks of whatever you build reality, right, like the laws of physics, the laws of nature, are just as necessary and important as my toenail, right? These things have to be true for existence.
That's just like to equivocate what we're meaning when we say necessary, right?
Necessary.
You're putting the same. I know, but when you're making that comparison, you're saying that it seems strange that you would say that these are just as necessary as this, and it means that you're putting less value on a toenail than you are the laws of physics. And I would too. I don't put very much value on a toenail either. But the position of being necessary has nothing to do with the value you place on something. When I'm stating necessary, I'm just stating that this could not have been anything except for what it is. I'm not putting a value claim on anything. I'm just saying it's non-contingent. Okay. It can't be other than what it is.
No, okay. So the way I use necessary is something couldn't fail to exist, right? Do you agree with that? And contingency is something could have failed to exist. So all things
same as what it is. It's the same as what it is versus not the same as what it is. That's exactly what I meant when I was saying that. Fail to exist, sure, you can put it that way, or it could exist in another form. You could put it that way. Either way works for me when talking contingent. But when you're talking about a toenail and the laws of physics, you're implying that one is less valuable than the other, and I agree. A toenail isn't that valuable. Laws of physics super valuable as far as
How do
their
you make that
usefulness,
distinction?
but they both must exist in this system.
How are you drawing the
They both
distinction?
must exist as they're just different forms.
Yep. No. How are you drawing the distinction of importance for existence?
Yeah, necessary and contingent have nothing to do with importance to me. It's just a category error.
I'm asking you for how do you draw the distinction between fundamental and non-fundamental if they all have the same sort of weight into existence?
Again, I don't know. You're using fundamental in a way I wouldn't use it. It's not about having a weight to existence. It just means that all the things have the property of existence. That's it.
Just
now, when I say fundamental, I am talking about like the very smallest building blocks of the things that exist. That's all I would say if I'm talking about fundamental. The fundamental particles, the fundamental like materials. I wouldn't have any fundamental on why things exist.
Asking for the why. When I mean by fundamental, it just seems to be like the accurate description of like how, or not how something exists, but like the weight of existence something has in a universe, or in order for existence to be true. In order for all things to exist, this thing must be true, right? So like
that the things that exist hold the property of existence. That's it. That's all that's required.
I don't take existence to be a predicate. I just take existence to be like a description.
Yeah, it's a property.
Existence is a predicate?
Not a predicate, a property.
A predicate means property.
Properties describe things. You describe things based on their properties. That's how you describe things.
Okay, a predicate.
So when you say
we can use the word property, that's fine.
Or a property or a description, I'm talking about that all means the same thing to me.
Okay, and you think existence is a property?
Yeah, it's something we can describe about things around us.
Okay, so
object A exists.
So
it holds that property.
Okay, some descriptive fact becomes a predicate under your worldview. That's fine. But anyways, so existence exists in all things, right? So how do you account for abstract objects? Do you think abstract objects exist, or
as concepts?
As concepts. But do you think like abstract sentences can be true?
They may like exist semantically, but that doesn't mean they would be true as in like comporting with reality. It depends on like what framework of truth you're using, right?
Yeah, but I don't see how like you would even be able to like get out of any framework of truth that's not correspondence if you reject like possible world semantics and stuff like that. So like the sentence Clark Kent is Superman or whatever, Clark Kent. I keep butchering his name. Clark Kent. Clark Kent is Superman. Is that like a true or false statement?
Again, it depends on like what like framework you're using for true. It's true as in the concept of the character is Superman, but it does not mean that the character of Superman exists as the same as in a vehicle exists.
Yeah, but if there's nothing to refer to besides this world, how do you like even come to that claim that that's a true sentence?
Hey, hold on just a second. I'll be right back.
Brilliant. Thank you guys for being here. If you can, how do we have 360 likes on this live? If you can, it'd be awesome. Please.
I think I'm all of those.
Yeah, that might all be Missy. So let's not let Missy be like the only individual who's liked the live. Please tap your screens, like the live. That'd be awesome.
Because I know you need the finger practice. I know you need the practice.
Yeah. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Like and share.
So so again, when I'm talking about things that are just conceptual, they exist as concepts, but they don't exist physically. I just make a distinction between the two.
So a Superman does exist, and Superman is necessary in your worldview. Just to be clear.
As a concept, yes.
So the concept of Superman is necessary.
Yeah, it follows necessarily from its prior antecedents.
Okay. I mean, I don't know, like, there's not much to do. I just take necessitarianism to be like an absurd view, and I think you're comfortable with necessitarianism. So we're just going to keep talking about the absurdities and like the kind of like things that I don't think is like a correct statement to make, and you're just going to say that is the correct statement. So, I mean, I appreciate the conversation, but I don't think we can make any more ground.
Yo, Coco, you know that guy you had on your debate?
Yeah.
Did you see the papers he's written?
Yeah, I did see it, and I was like, damn, I did not know about this. But like,
more like the 6 papers he's written.
I mean, yeah, like I need to look into that. I didn't know, but like I was like stargazed at 2 PhDs. Also, Matthew, dude, I love you, man.
Did you just call stars gay?
No.
The morality of
stargazing
faking
at, like,
orgasms?
PhD individuals.
So many women would be so fucked.
Also, Matthew, you're cool, man. But yeah, I love you.
Wait, Coco.
But sometimes you can railroad a little bit. Just like,
hey, Coco, I heard you crashed out the other
No, what happens, Coco, is when people start pushing, I push back, and I don't stop when they push. I don't back down from them pushing.
Yeah.
So when like John decided he wanted to talk over me every single time I spoke, I just stopped letting him. When I muted him for interrupting me, instead of like letting me finish, he decided to unmute and interrupt me again. And after that happened a cool like half dozen times, I said, fuck it. And I removed him and then continued to speak. And he can come back when I'm done, because that stops the interruptions. But since that wasn't allowed to occur, I just had to keep going.
Yeah.
So I used my mod privileges as I should use my mod privileges. And then
you booted J-Rock.
They got taken away.
Well, yeah, well, I find you were kicking him way too much, and also like
I only kicked him twice.
Well, yeah, but also like
only twice.
You guys were interrupting each other, which like he interrupted you. I grant that, but you're also like you tell people like
I said,
but like you also interrupt people whenever you want. Sometimes.
Not necessarily. Sometimes yes, because sometimes it's funny. But no, in this case, I was continuing to speak when he was interrupting me. And as long as he continued to interrupt me, I didn't give 2 shits about him speaking anymore, because he didn't give 2 shits about me speaking. If he's not going to allow me to like answer the question he asks me, and he's going to interrupt the answer with a different question to shift the topic, that's fucking bullshit. I'm going to call him on it.
Yeah.
Coco, whose lie did you crash out on?
Because I didn't just like reduce to immediately kicking him. No, I started trying to talk to him and said, hey, let me answer your question. Hey, no, that's not cool. I'm going to fucking finish talking. And then it got to a point where it was just interrupting over interrupting. So I said, fuck it, and muted him. He refused to stay muted. So I kicked him.
Hell yeah, brother.
I would do that with anybody.
Yeah.
Not me. Would
like I'm so confused about like, where the disconnect was, but like no, wait, I'm not even sure if we figured it out, but like
I just want you to know, Matthew, that there's no hard feelings, that I didn't mean anything personal by booting you. It was just getting to be a bit too heated.
Yeah, I didn't think it was personal. I just think it was a little bit hypocritical.
I'll boot Plum
and to be fair,
I'll boot Plum and Matthew right now. I don't give a damn.
I'll boot you too, motherfucker.
I'll boot the host. I'll boot up.
I was told that I am not allowed to boot Bought by Blood because he's special.
Well,
but then get immediately kicked and not brought back.
I booted both of them.
That's why I think it's hypocritical. When I booted him, I got told no, you can't, even though I had reason.
Was fair,
and then when you booted,
I booted
it's fine
both of you
because you have reason. That's the reason I think it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, like
it's not like I booted him for no reason.
Yeah, I tend to have leniency for my friends, but yeah, I was trying to just get both of you under control. Plum did it, but I was kind of okay with it. I was trying to get the conversation under control and kind of like figure out how to resolve and come to a conclusion.
That's why I booted him.
Yeah, but like Matthew, be honest.
That literally gets it under control because it stops it.
Yeah, but Matthew, be honest. Like, you both.
It's not like I
you were
blocked
interrupting
him
each
from
other.
the live. It's not like I blocked him from the live or anything like that. I just stopped him
I'm just
from
gonna
continuing to
say,
interrupt me.
as a party who is just sitting here, minding my own fucking business, you're both being dicks. That's why I booted both of you.
Yes, I was intentionally being a dick because he had been a dick to me for so damn long. I was fucking tired of it.
That's why I booted both of you.
Yeah, we're trying to get under control. But, Paul, I'm not going to respond to that. That's between them. I'm just going to leave that be. I don't think I want to get in the middle of that. But what are we talking about now? I'm playing Dispatch and I'm streaming it to YouTube and Twitch. But no, life's been great. Did you guys enjoy the debate yesterday?
I was sleeping.
You missed it. We had 2 PhDs.
I know.
We had an atheist and a Christian PhD scholar debating each other.
I fucking missed it too. Fuck, I'm sorry.
But it's on 5 channels.
I was
I uploaded
driving
it today
for
on
like
5 different channels. On my
I was
channel,
driving
we have
for like
debates
7
channel
hours yesterday.
right here, right now, and Volcy's channel, if you know who Volcy is on this app.
Yeah, I've caught about like a third of it when I had time earlier, but I didn't see the whole thing. I'm gonna finish it off later. I just ran out of time to keep watching. But I was like driving for like 7 hours yesterday. I wasn't able to be here.
It was lit.
I might actually get to meet Angry Reddit Atheist either tomorrow or when he comes back through.
Wait. Oh, you said comes back through. I thought you were coming near me.
No. Fuck Texas.
Garrett, it's
you
posted
don't
on a
come
few
back.
different people's TikToks, but it's also on Coco. It's on your YouTube, right?
Yeah, my YouTube, right here, right
That's
now.
probably the
YouTube,
best place to see it.
And Day of Debates YouTube.
Yeah. One of those YouTube channels is probably their best bet on catching.
Ryan Mullins got cooked.
See, like,
I'm joking.
I don't even know who won, to be honest. I don't
Oh.
think well, okay,
well,
wait.
I have to
Wait,
watch.
actually, wait, Keithan. Wait, actually, what's your honest opinion on who do you think performed better?
I mean, I think Mullins did better, but like I think Krishnar could have done better. Some of his arguments I thought were bad. There was like only one that I thought was actually interesting, but Mullins responded to it.
What do you think about him saying like God is not like a being worthy of praise because like he's not choosing evil to exist?
Yeah, that's the one argument I actually thought was
Coco, I
interesting.
never got a fucking answer. Whose live did you crash out on the other day?
Oh wait, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm not sure. Like,
Godstopper told me that you crashed out on somebody's live.
Dude, I just keep telling them to come onto my live and crash out on people. That's all.
A woman.
Can I do that, Matthew?
Why not?
I can come up and crash out on people?
A woman.
Yeah, as long as it's justified, yeah.
You kept getting interrupted and you started. You crashed out.
It was
Cognito. I am Lena.
her username is like Wifey Edition.
Oh, the book talk bitch. I fucking hate her.
She was talking about like intelligent design.
She is a CUNT.
Oh, okay, actually, no. Okay,
She's a
wait.
cunt?
Yeah.
Well, like
It's such a fun word when you're able to actually use it.
It's my favorite. It's so crunchy. Like, it's got really great consonants.
It's very crisp.
It's a crunchy word. Like, it's crispy in the mouth, you know? Cunt.
It snaps.
Oh no! So basically, what happened? What was happening is
Anyway, she pisses me off too. She blocked me because I dog walked her on my fucking live, and she got embarrassed so bad that she blocked me.
No, so basically what happened is like I'm still friends with her. I think that she's really cool, but like the one thing that I don't really like appreciate is like I came on her live and like He Has Risen and Justin W were there.
I heard you squashed it with Justin.
I mean, I don't know, because
your face says it all.
Yeah, because like I think Justin W still dislikes me, and I just
Oh, no, 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 no.
appreciate
He
like,
definitely does, and even though he might outwardly tell you that y'all are cool, he inwardly does not like you.
yeah.
Like
So
he may have this calm exterior of like, yeah, me and Coco and I are like chill, but I guarantee you, at a moment's notice, he would snap right back into that stupidity that he's like just literally engulfed in.
yeah. So like Justin W, like I'm not sure if we're cool. Like I just appreciated the way that he behaved in the conversation, and I think he's more like reasonable. I guess he wasn't like interrupting me, and he was actually trying to hear
Okay.
what I had to say. But like, I came into the live. I'm being kind and being nice, and like he is risen is just like interrupting me out of nowhere. And
Yeah,
so
that's
like
what he does. He's an antagonist.
yeah, like I ignored it at first, but like he keeps interrupting me. So then yeah, like I ended up like crashing out. I was like, okay, look, I'm being
And you know what's funny is that you're actually losing, number one, by even entering those spaces, because you're giving them the credibility to look like their platform has some kind of worth, measure, or value. Number one, and then number two, when you are susceptible to letting them control your attitude and your outward reflection, you are then once again the loser, because you have succumbed to exactly what they want you to do, and that's look like a irrational, angry atheist that they think that we all are.
Yeah. So like all of that like I thought about and like I came to this conclusion. But yeah, but hear this. So basically like yeah, I was being calm at first. He has risen was being like an asshole, and he kept like interrupting me. So literally like it got to a point where like I started yelling, and I was like,
Is he a mod on there?
Yeah, he is a mod over there, and he muted me a couple times. But yeah, eventually it came to a point where I was like, "Hey, listen, we can either have like a calm conversation and like discuss the material, or this can get heated. And if you want it to get heated, like I am totally okay with the fight, and I will literally win. So let me just like let you know that like right now.
Oh, literally win.
But
Sorry if I killed your live, by the way.
Oh no, you're totally fine. It's the end of the night. But yeah, so he interrupted me multiple times, and then like the host said like, "Hey, no more interruptions. Everybody be kind to each other." Right? We continued the conversation, and he doesn't give a fuck. He keeps interrupting me, and he's interrupting me, and all of the mods are like away from keyboard, and the host is away from keyboard, and they don't notice this, and they don't kick him from the panel.
Yeah, they don't care.
Because yeah, he broke their rules, and we already established that we were going to be nice to each other. And then like he did it, and then like I make a comment about his wife. I'm like, how like if you can't control yourself from like interrupting people and like
Here's the issue. No matter what, they win, because if you continue to let them mute you and abuse you, you look like a bitch, and then if you crash out, you look irrational.
Yeah, and so basically I said like if you can't control yourself and like stop interrupting me, I wonder how you communicate with your wife. And like they booted me, and I was like, why'd you
You should just say like a bunch of banned words like as many times as humanly possible, as quick as humanly possible. That's what I start doing on lives like Wisdom. Whenever like Wisdom brings me up, she's like, here's this irrational atheist, and then like I'll start with my contentions, and then she strawmans me, and I'm like, the Holy Spirit's the child rapist, the Holy Spirit's the child rapist, like, but I don't censor myself. And they're like, that's why we can't have atheists up here.
Well, okay, so essentially like they kick me for insulting his wife, and I'm like, okay, look.
Is she fat or something, or what?
No. I just said like, I just told him like, hey, how can you communicate with your wife if you can't control yourself interrupting me here on the panel? And so like they booted.
I thought you were gonna call her ugly or something.
Oh no, but yeah, like they booted me, and like I came back on the panel, and I was like, hold on, you booed me during like my first defense when I insult him, but he was interrupting multiple times.
Yeah,
you guys said not to interrupt anybody, and he doesn't get kicked. And they were like,
it's rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah, like they were saying things like we were away from the keyboard, we were not paying attention.
You already know that's a weak ass excuse, because if you would have been doing something, if you would have said a bunch of banned words, you would have said the Holy Spirit's this or Jesus that, God is that, they would have been on your ass immediately.
Yeah, and so like I guess we kept on communicating, and like literally as I was telling them that he was interrupting me, and like they kicked me for my first defense, he literally interrupted me during that. Yeah, so like his risen is like what I've decided is like I'm not saying that like I'm not saying that like I'm worth more than other people. I'm not saying that like my followers make me anything. I could collaborate with as many PhDs in like the next like couple of years. I'm still a nobody. I'm still gonna wear sandals and go get like I'm still gonna wear like fuck you sandals and go get donuts and hang out with my friends. But I think that like I'm building a platform. I'm hosting debates. I'm doing really awesome things. I love myself. I like the things that I do. I like the way that I treat people.
Well, we love you too. So that's all that's important. I'm walking away from my phone for a minute, but I'm still trying to listen.
Okay, no, you're totally cool. Yeah, like I feel like I've accomplished a lot. I've done a lot of things. I've gained more self-confidence. I love myself more. And I think that there are certain like panels or like live streams that I shouldn't go on because like why am I bringing like my audience and like all the hard work that I've done to these panels where they're not really gonna like respect me or like they're gonna, you know, treat Christians with favoritism and treat the atheists like crap. Um, but I'm not saying like I'm not saying that's what her platform is. But I think like yeah, I came to this conclusion that like, hey, I work hard. I host debates. I debate people. I make a blog post. I do all these amazing things. I'm not better than anybody. I'm still some random stupid dude from Texas who gets donuts and like wears fuck you flip flops. But like I think like I shouldn't be giving my energy to people who don't really appreciate it and don't fuck with me and don't really value the time and effort I put into things. I should go onto panels where I can have intellectual conversations and interact with people who treat me with respect and are idiots. And yeah, like that's kind of like the
Why
conclusion
are they
I've come
called
to.
fuck you flip flops?
Oh, like
What,
you know,
what
like
about them is fuck you?
I think it's really funny and like it's a line from the Facebook movie, you know, where the one guy's getting fired. And the one guy, his stock is being like minimized, and he's like, you know, I just go to the dry cleaners with my fuck you flip flops. But yeah, yeah, but no, he has risen as a complete idiot. Um, to this day, he still misunderstands my position, or he still misunderstands the conversation we had about veganism. You know, at the beginning of the year, I was trying to be vegan. He has risen, made fun of me for being vegan, and he says because he was trying to explain to me that veganism is an expensive diet, especially since he's vegetarian, and like. Yeah, he has risen is just like completely stupid because if you want to be vegan, you can buy rice and you can buy beans for very cheap. You can go to HEB or Walmart and get like vegetables in a giant ass bag for like $4.
B
Yeah,
H E
yeah,
B.
HEB. Yeah. You can literally like being a
I
vegan.
miss HEB so much.
All right, get off the panel.
Wait, hold on. Wait, no, Forrest.
And if Paul Vibes puts "I love Joe T. Garcia's" in the comments one more time, you're blocked, buddy.
Yeah, but like the thing is like he has risen like me and he has risen. We're having this conversation about veganism, and because I was trying to be vegan at the beginning of the year, I kind of failed at it. And,
Payback's
like,
a bitch, motherfucker.
okay, yeah, bring him back up. But hold on, he has risen was making fun of me earlier in the year because I was trying to be vegan and I failed at that, and I'm no longer vegan. I'm just eating whatever the fuck I want to eat. And you know, he was saying that like being vegan is expensive. He's a fucking dumbass. You can literally go to any store and get rice, beans, get fucking like vegetables for very cheap. It's not gonna cost you any more. And he said being vegan is more expensive than being vegetarian. He's even dumber for that because you can be vegan and follow like a vegetarian diet minus any like food or animal products, right? Like, so that's just fucking stupid. I don't see how like veganism would cost more than like a vegetarian diet. You can eat what the vegetarian eats, just minus like some of the animal products that might be associated there, right? So he just blatantly doesn't know what he's talking about. It's very sad that these people are on TikTok spreading misinformation, don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and then I come up to correct them. And it's just a whole like it's a whole. I feel sorry for people watching the live streams who have to decide between me and He Has Risen, and they don't know that He Has Risen is a complete fucking idiot and is spreading misinformation on TikTok, saying stuff like evolution is not a thing, and like we don't have fossil records. Being vegan is more expensive than vegetarianism, or it's expensive to be a vegan. Just this dude doesn't do his research and comes on and wants to teach people, and he's teaching people wrong information that the atheists and vegans and people of all different like corners of TikTok have to come and undo the damage that he's done. It's just Christians, and it's not only he has risen that's running around spreading misinformation. It's I wonder, it's Joy, it's who else? I wonder, Joy, he has risen. I want to say Justin W, but he's smarter than all of them, but yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully people do their research and ask questions and don't just take any of those people's words for it because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like at the very least, if I'm saying something and I'm not sure about what I'm saying, I'll literally say don't take my word for it, go do your research. At the very least, I'll say that, right? I want to be intellectually honest. I don't want to be responsible for somebody saying something stupid on somebody else's panel, thinking it's a fact, and it's just some random bullshit I made up to win an argument. That's dumb as fuck. I want to help educate people and make the world a better place and share my journey with other people. I don't want to spread misinformation. I'm not gonna lie to you about fucking evolution. If I don't know shit about evolution, I'll tell you, don't listen to me, go do research on evolution, or here are the resources I read. There are Christians on here who they will lie to you to win the debate, right? And it's why the fuck are you doing that? That's so terrible. That's so disingenuous. They will lie to you because they're more concerned with converting you to God than they are with telling you the truth or telling you the science. And it's don't do that fucking shit. And I catch them in these lies all the time. I can tell you what they've lied about. Some Christians warp things to win the conversation. It's stop trying to win. Just be honest. Say I don't know, or I don't have the information. It's such a fucking shitty thing to do, right? Literally, I wonder, and this is the last thing I'll say and then I'll shut up. I don't know if the 36 people in here want to listen to what I have to say or listen to this whole spiel, but I've literally watched lives where I wonder we have no fossil records. That's a lie. Study science. Look at the fossil records. I wonder will be there's no retroviruses. That's a lie. We do have retroviruses. They are a key evidence to why evolution is highly probable to have occurred. We share retroviruses with the ancient ape and our predecessors, right? And I think current apes, but I'm not sure. Go fact check that, right? Go look into evolution. I encourage all Christians study evolution, before you critique it. But I don't know. I don't want to bore the 34 people who are in here, I don't want to bore the 34 people who are in here, so.
But yes, you are correct. All current apes have a common ancestor in the ancient apes.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Including humans. Humans are great apes as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's so sad that Christians are on this app spreading misinformation and people believe them, and then they come into my life and they say we don't have any fossil records. No, you have Christians who are critiquing evolution and they haven't studied evolution. So shut the fuck up. Why are you talking about evolution if you haven't read about it? It's I wonder, it's Joy, it's the people in that crew. They're so dumb. They're talking about science. They don't know anything about science. It's just why would you do that and spread misinformation and lie to win the argument? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's wild.
It's a common tactic. I mean, you see it constantly with flat earthers and nonsense like that. It's the same science denial that happens on both sides. It's science denial is science denial. Doesn't matter how inept the group is.
I think that when it comes to Christians, when it comes to Christians, when it comes to atheists, when it comes to anybody who believes in anything, we're all trying to find the truth. All 33 people in this live stream, we're all trying to find the truth. To do that, we have to ask questions. To do that, we have to look at the facts. To do that, we have to look at the evidence. I think that if I were to give any advice, stop caring about winning debates. It shouldn't be about winning debates. Winning debates is great. I debate on TikTok. I love to win debates. But I would rather viciously lose a debate and not spread misinformation than to win a debate and lie to you about science or lie to you about Christianity. If I make a mistake, I want to catch it and I want to spread the truth. I'm an agnostic. I don't say that God doesn't exist because I don't have enough information or the arguments to say that. And I'm not a Christian, or I don't believe in any gods because I don't have enough information to believe that God exists. I'm on a journey trying to figure out what's the most probable explanation. I'll never be able to prove it. None of us will be able to prove it. But I'm trying to figure out like the most probable explanation and find something to believe in. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you that I don't know. I'd rather lose a debate than tell you some bullshit to try to make you an atheist. Like, we shouldn't be spreading lies to one another. We should be spreading truth. We're all working together to get to the truth, you know? I don't, like, there are Christians on this app. I've said this like 4 times, but they just care about converting you. They will lie to convert you, and it's very unfortunate. And the atheists that are doing the good work, like, and I'm not saying this to gas Matthew up, but Matthew, you say a lot of correct things. Tiny Science says
I
a lot of
tend to.
correct things. There are many other creators I can name that say a lot of correct things. We atheists have to fix the fuck-ups of the Christians who are spreading this information, and that's not really great. There are also Christians who are fixing up those fuck-ups as well. Bob by Blood is very smart. You should listen to everything Bob by Blood says, or Inspiring Philosophy, or Exploring Reality.
Unless he's being an asshat at the time, and then you need to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and then also like Dan McClellan. If you're studying Christianity, go listen to Dan McClellan. Although some of his
Dan McClellan is awesome.
Yeah, some Christians like disagree with Dan McClellan, but he's a PhD Mormon, and he has really good takes on Christianity. There are good like Christians and good atheists. Dan McClellan, Exploring Reality, Inspiring Philosophy, Bob by Blood. I have to look into John Steele's stuff more and evaluate, but he's a pretty cool guy personality-wise. What other Christian do I think is very cool? But in regards to atheists, I think Tiny Science, Matthew, Danny is a really good one. Daniel Green is a very good one. He's very factual.
Love Daniel. He's awesome.
Yeah, take notes.
He's my buddy.
Like, literally go into those people's lives and take notes. I go into Ian's live, I take notes. I go into Deconstruction's live, I take notes on what they're saying. And not only take notes on what they're saying, go to Google and check what they're saying. Do your own research. I do that too. I'll take notes on something Ian said. I'll go to Google, I'll read more articles on it, and I'll check it. And then use the argument or add it to my worldview. I mean, like, we're all chasing the truth. I think all human beings have an innate good about them, and they're trying to get to the truth. But sometimes they're confused, or sometimes they take wrong turns on the path to the truth, you know? But yeah, that's my spiel for the day. Sorry for talking for a long period of time, but there's nothing else. There's nobody on the panel.
Speaking about incorrect information, hey, Terry B, nukes don't mimic stars by splitting atoms. Nukes do split atoms. Stars fuse atoms. They take atoms and put them together. It's fusion, not fission.
Yeah, like if I don't know something, well, like if I don't know something, I'll tell you guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. Go do your research. I want to be like honest. There is a Bible video I might have to. There is a Bible contradiction video that I posted that I might have to take down because I did some research on it today. I said that no. So there's this verse in Matthew that says that whenever the flood came by, like the people were surprised by the flood. And so I thought that God had given like no warnings. But then like, you know, there was this woman that corrected me, a friend of mine named Sherry. And I think that the Bible does describe Noah as being a preaching man. It might have been the case that Noah warned everybody and said there's a flood coming, and they didn't like trust him. But I do have to like look into it. So like that
There's a couple
Bible,
of ways to look at that one.
yeah. So that Bible contradiction, I have to take that video down.
You're tripping. You're giving Christians way too much leeway with this bullshit. First of all,
a little bit, but it's all right.
all it says is that Noah was preaching. It doesn't say about what.
It does.
Doesn't
yes.
say what he preached about or anything. You can infer that he was warning about the.
You can infer that, but it
impending
didn't say
thing.
that.
but that's fine. Either way, you're discussing a global flood, an all-encompassing flood, and Noah did not preach to the entirety of the civilization of man. He only preached to those that were there near him. And even then, the people who were there near him wouldn't accept what he was saying. So it's not that they were. So even when it says that some were surprised, yeah, a lot of people didn't know crap. But the other people were just surprised that he actually got it right. But either way, it's a fictional story nonetheless, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and also like
Plot
I was
holes in
gonna
fiction is no biggie.
and yeah, like I was gonna make a rebuttal video saying exactly that. Like Noah could have been preaching, and maybe some people knew about the flood, but not everybody. And like, how did they know that Noah wasn't like a false prophet? Also, yeah, Christ before Jesus. I do need to read some of your stuff. But no, like I do need to look into Christ before Jesus' stuff because it could be the case that like Jesus never existed and Paul never existed. It is a minority view, but it could be the case. I typically grant that like Jesus didn't exist. Well, actually, I wouldn't grant that Paul doesn't exist, but I would grant that Jesus doesn't exist. But actually, like, why the fuck do I even believe that Paul existed? To be honest with you, like, I don't even know why I believe Paul existed.
Because a lot of people talk about him and a lot of people say he wrote things.
Yeah, like I mean, we have like
It's held as a consensus by a lot of historians. Whether or not it's correct, it is held as a consensus by a lot of historians.
Yeah, because we have books written by Paul, but they're claimed to be written by Paul, but we don't know if like he actually wrote them or like if he exists. Jesus, I grant, existed because we have so many people writing about Jesus. Like, I can grant it's possible in naturalism that there was a
man named Yeshua who lived in the first century, who was Jewish, taught a bunch of people his belief system, did some wonderful things for some people as he traveled, caused trouble at a temple, and was summarily executed. Sure, why not?
I can grant that Jesus existed and was a apocalyptic preaching Jew, and yeah, he did some that. Yeah, exactly.
Jewish person. Apocalyptic.
He was preaching about like hell and all that stuff. Yeah, like I can grant that, but like, is it possible that there's all these writings about Jesus and Jesus never existed?
It's also highly possible that the character of Jesus is an amalgamation of multiple people who had stories written about them or told about them who did different acts around the area. Greg and George and Frank and Bob over there each did their individual thing, and their stories got overblown and they're all shoved together and put under a single name, Jesus. And this would be supported by the fact that in each of these cases of stories about Jesus, you find that they hold different personalities, different emotional reactions, different interactions with people. They don't hold a consistent personality. Therefore, they seem like different people. They're just called the same. So it very well could be that this is a dozen different people all shoved under one name. It's the same concept as Forrest Gump. So, yay, Jesus Gump.
Yeah. So like, if I adopted the view that Jesus didn't exist, then like that would probably be the route that I would take. Basically, like people were talking about Jesus, and they they basically took details from a bunch of different people and then combined it to make this like Jesus figure. But if that's the case, if it's an amalgamation of a bunch of different people, are you going to also say that the Gospels and like the crucifixion and all of that stuff is an amalgamation of like, which there are other crucifixion narratives?
Life is like a box of wine. You never know who's going to betray you.
Life is like a box of wine. You never know what wine flavor you're gonna get. but okay, so actually that does make sense. You could basically go through the entire New Testament and the Gospels and say it's just all of that. It's just an amalgamation of Christianity borrowing from other cultures to make this Jesus like potato head,
It
essentially.
wouldn't even have to be other cultures. It could be other Jewish teachers who've been wandering that area, the area of the Levant, what we currently call Palestine. And each one was in a different village doing something and teaching a lesson, and that lesson became a story that was passed down through oral tradition. As these stories get passed down as oral tradition, they get linked together, and instead of it Frank and Bob, it's Yeshua did both, right? And then it builds together, and then you end up with the Gospels being an anonymously written text X decades after the fact by people who have heard these stories so many times, and they just all place it under a single character, a single banner. It's no different than talking about John Henry or Johnny Appleseed or any of these other like folk tales from early Americas.
Yeah. Which I sort of see why I would buy that, because even when you look at Genesis, it has similarities with Mesopotamian culture and like Mesopotamian gods. So it could be the case that there was like borrowing from like other cultures and stuff. But no, yeah, I could totally see that. But typically, I grant Jesus existed. Paul, I don't know why I grant Paul existed, but I grant that for some reason. I don't see any reason why they couldn't exist given naturalism, but yeah. But yep, like my whole spiel tonight, 27 people in here. If there's one thing I want to do, it's be intellectually honest. Unfortunately, a lot of Christians aren't. I literally have friends who have told me that like Joy on this app, the African American woman that's a Christian, like she's literally said her priority is just converting people to Christianity by any means possible, even if it means
Yeah.
being an absolute unhealthy dick to you. So just keep that in mind. So the I Wonder crew, I Wonder, Joy, Present, He is Risen, especially Present and Joy in that group. They just want to convert you. They don't care about being intellectually honest. They are going to say misinformation. They're going to say tons of things that are misinformation. And I have friends who are witness to this. I have so many people, Christian and atheists, who are witness to this. I literally have DMs of Christians and atheists who are witness to this. Do not trust their lives. And that's all I'm going to say. Wink, wink.
I had a converse. Yeah, I actually had a conversation about this earlier today. There's many different types of Christians, and some of them truly hold to the ideal that if you are not saved, you will not be protected, and you will fall into torment after death. And their position is they want to do anything and everything to save you from said torment. And then there are others who simply have this like main character concept where they think it is their responsibility in order to convince everybody of God. And it has nothing to do with protection or kindness or love. It's only the scoreboard. I saved X number of people. And
yeah. But also like
both
another
sides
creator,
happen, and it sucks.
another creator that I don't like is One Way Out. He'll literally dude, One Way Out is hilarious. He'll literally make sensationalist type arguments like you're gonna go to hell and Jesus loves you and this and that. And then whenever you come on the panel and lay out premises and logical like inference rules and like actual information, he kicks you or mutes you from the panel and continues to do this like tears and emotional like approach to preaching, and like he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't know anything about science. Like,
see, this is where you and me are going to differ a little bit. I don't have like my favorite Christians and my least favorite Christians in the same way you do. One of my favorite Christians is Darth Dawkins because I love playing the game with him and teasing him along and making him fumble over his words. It's like a play toy for me. So when I say I got my favorite Christians, it's for completely different reasons.
yeah, I have but no, that's actually like funny, and I think he should be made a fool. Like he's like actually like kind of a terrible Christian, the way that he treats people, and like he runs the tag argument. But like I would say like I have Christians that I learn from. I have Christians that there are Christians I can tell people that I take notes from these Christians, and I have atheists that I learn from, and then I have atheists and Christians to avoid. Um, there's this one person that's mad at me because like a mod abused them, and I tried to fix the issue. I was like, hey, how can I fix this? And they didn't really care to let me fix it. And they were like, I think you're homophobic and you're anti-LGBTQ, but you can still come on my live. And I'm like, why do you still want me to come on your
Why
live?
would I want to?
Yeah, like why would I want to? And like I realized they had 1,000 followers and I had like 10,800 followers. So they want the clout, but like they want to call me racist and homophobic. Or no, they want to call me anti-LGBTQ and homophobic.
Dude, I don't care if a person has 1,000 followers or if a person has like 500,000 followers. None of that matters to me. I wouldn't call any of that clout. Like I got 25K. That's nothing. That's like a person makes a like a viral like dance video. They're gonna get more followers than that. I could care less about like the follower count. The only thing I ever care about when I like tune into a person's live is what they're saying and how many people are willing to listen to it.
Oh no, yeah, like dude, me too. Like I'm the same way. I'll go to like if someone has like 500 followers, I'll still show up to their live. And like again, like I think I before I started this conversation, I said like, look, I could have like 1,000,000 followers. Like I could be the largest like debater on TikTok. I still want to be like down to earth and grab a beer with people and like love people. I don't think followers like dictates like your value, but would it be nice to have like 5K people in my live and like debating people and being the next like Dean, Parker, or Ian? That would be fucking phenomenal. But like if I get there, I'm not gonna be worth more than other people. Like fuck no. I'm still like
You wanna know who's a good example of that? Blitz.
J Mike.
Dr. Blitz is a great example. J Mike too, but Dr. Blitz is a great example of this. Always got a huge number of people. Well, I won't say a huge number of people in his live, but 400 or 500 people in his live. It's a really, really good amount of people in his lives. Always got people talking to him. Always able to keep his lives moving. Has a bunch of followers. Super smart. Really articulate. Able to hold these conversations, run these debates, do anything he needs to do. Have all these like educational information, all of it, but he's still super down to earth. Like, hey, you want to play card games?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah.
He's seriously a badass. He's just completely down to earth guy, but very, very well structured on this platform.
Yeah, people have told me about that. People told me that like you can literally send emails or like reach out to Dr. Blitz and he's always down to like work with anybody. And I think like that's something that I value. J Mike too. Like literally J Mike is like the smartest like motherfucker I've ever met in my life. And like the dude
Yeah, he'll sit down and have a drink with you if he's in the area.
Yeah, like J Mike is like super smart and he'll literally talk to you about philosophy and like say all these big complicated words and then the next second he'll be like, you want to play RuneScape? Or like you want to go grab a drink, or like, hey, you want to hang out? And I'm like,
you want to hear the stuff I know about pinball machines?
Yeah, like this guy is so cool. And, like he's super smart.
yeah.
He's like J Mike is like S tier. He's like the best debater on the app, but he's still down to like talk about like music and like like pinball machines and like vinyl and like RuneScape, and he'll hang out with anybody. And he doesn't.
Yeah, Dr. Blitz is the same way. He came onto my live one day. The only reason he came onto my live is because he wanted to ask me if I played Magic the Gathering and if I'd be willing to like play with him and his buddies online.
That's literally like that's what I want to accomplish one day. I think like it'd be really cool if I'm lucky. Like like I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it, but like if I'm lucky, not everybody makes it in this social media thing. But if I'm lucky that one day I can like debate people and do TikTok and host debates and maybe even like rent out like big like buildings and have in-person debates and like sell tickets and stuff. If I'm able to like do like a big project, I would still want to be the guy who like sees like 20,000 people lined up for his event and I shake every single individual's hand and like have lunch with them, I never want to be like stuck up as fuck and like I'm better than you because I have a bunch of followers. Like, yeah.
I think you cut the part down, Coco. Like I already said, I don't know who I talked to about this. One of my good friends who does like atheist debates. I mentioned you because not only do you take a very open-minded stance on a lot of stuff, you do try to be fair and like very much so listen to both kinds of things and don't tolerate a lot of disrespect. And also when the day of debates thing where it was the couple days of just different debates. Like that was awesome to tune in to. Like
Yeah.
you got a knack for organizing those types of things.
Oh yeah, dude, and I love to do it. Like it's literally the coolest thing ever. It's an honor that I've been able to work with like so many different creators, and like yeah, I think the end of last year, I think I posted something where I was like I did like 52 debates and like collaborated with like like 32 different creators, and like it's been really awesome. And yeah, like literally there was a time where like people were being a little bit mean to me. I've lost some friends on this journey to like, do social media, and like some people kind of don't really understand like the work that goes into doing that stuff, right? I feel like some people on TikTok, they just kind of show up for the events and they don't understand like what's going on in the background, and they are the loudest voices in the room, like critiquing or being assholes or coming up and abusing mod powers or not being there for you. And then whenever drama starts happening, they want to show up and they want to be part of the drama, but they're not there for you when you need them. Wit, I'll literally call it out. But but yeah, like whenever you see like a day of debates event happen and there's a bunch of like these different like debaters, behind the scenes I spend hours like texting like 32 different people, right? Hey, what days do you work? Well, when are you free? Like, what's your schedule? I want you to debate this person. Okay, what's the topic going to be? Setting all of that up, and then I have to plan for like how long the debate's going to take, the 20-minute questions after, and then like give a little bit of room so in case we're late or in case we go over the time, we have a little bit of extra time. And then like literally for every single event, I have like a Microsoft doc, and I'm like, we have 9 debates happening today. That's like 18 people that I have to like network with and make sure they're all available on Friday by a certain times. Tell everybody their times. Tell everybody the topics. After I'm done doing all of that, I have to go edit a promotional video, and that takes hours of editing and hours of like screenshotting people's profile pictures, and like I spend 1 or 2 hours coming up with like what the theme is going to be for this debate, and then I post it, and then I work a job and I take some of the money to promote my videos and get them like popular on TikTok sometimes, but I don't really do that anymore. But yeah, there's like a lot of like moving pieces that plays into it. And then there are some people like Wit or like Herbal Giraffe or like Yaya who just kind of like show up and like abuse their mod powers, talk shit in the comments, won't join the panel and talk shit to my face, or just don't really appreciate the work that I do. But yeah, that's kind of it. We're not really friends anymore. I'm sorry to call them out, but also like not really sorry. But yeah, I've lost a couple people, and I
Sorry, not sorry.
yeah, like I've learned to be independent. I'm kind of doing my own thing. I'm being a good guy.
No,
the best way I can.
it's good. No, it's good to be able to do your thing and hold your ground and do that kind of stuff. But I do got like, if I was to give constructive criticism, you do tend to overcorrect towards opposition a little bit more than you do towards your own side sometimes, and that can be something you can be aware of.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say, I think that's pretty natural. That happens. Just
I just want to come in and say, Coco, you goated, bro. I'm just saying, Coco, you goated.
The goal is to be goated. I want to be the goat. Now, in regards to like my debating skills,
I hope I'm.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, I hope I'm doing right by you with my modding. I'm a dick to everybody.
Oh no, you're doing totally fine. In regards to my debating skills, I can literally admit I'm probably like a D tier debater. I'm like not a good debater. I'm gonna be honest. Like, well, at least okay, formal debates, I'm like probably like a D tier debater. If you catch me on a panel, I think like 70% of the time I could probably be like pretty decent and like pretty good and like dominate and like destroy people on panels, like in like these like blood sport type debates on TikTok. But yeah,
Man,
anyway,
you hold your own with the best of them. Don't lie. Don't lie to yourself. You hold your own with the best of them.
yeah, I mean, like, the reason I put myself so low is because I've seen like so many actual legitimately good debaters. Like,
There's some good ones out there. I'll give you that for sure.
yeah, like, I mean, Danny,
Dr. Blitz, like
Kay,
I was talking about earlier.
yeah, Dr. Blitz, Ian, Deconstruction Justin, Daniel Green.
A lot of these people you're naming are like specifically like one-on-one debaters for their lives. They hold individual conversation. That's what I do too. That's what I specialize in too.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiny Science is real good too.
I love Tiny Science. I love watching Tiny Science.
He's a good guy.
I was just on his earlier.
Yeah, Tiny Science is actually really good. Tiny Science specializes in like science. Like, if I need someone to debate about a science topic, he'll do very good. Forrest is a good debater. So some people say Forrest is some people say Forrest is Reddit. But I don't
A
think
bit,
he's Reddit.
yeah. He's a bit
Yeah,
Reddit, but
it's
it's not. That's not
entertaining.
always a. Being a bit Reddit's not necessarily an insult.
Yeah.
It's just a style.
Yeah,
I think he's doing it out of the you know the I wouldn't say animosity or anything. I would say the intrigueness of it. You know, everybody's intrigued by it. They are amused by it. So
No,
they
he
come
has
to
he
it.
has a reason for those arguments, and his arguments
Absolutely.
aren't unsound. They're not. It's not like they're invalid. He has valid arguments that have sound reasoning. The topics that he goes over are very specific styles of topics that would be attached
That's
to
true.
like a Reddit atheist, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's how
that's
it's
true.
done that tends to be the problem.
Yeah. Well, I think I was gonna say I think Forrest is like, he's very entertaining too. Like, this is gonna sound and make me sound like really unintelligent. But you know how sometimes there are some debates that you go into and it's like, especially if you're not caught up in the first place, or like somebody like me, who's not super well versed in philosophy.
You get lost in the rhetoric.
Yeah, you get the So it's entertaining to watch, and at an understanding, like a lower understanding of things, if that makes sense. Not to say that like Forrest is debating at a lower, frequency. It's just he's easy to follow.
Yeah, it's the style. Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. It's a type of debating and the style in which he's going about it. There's nothing wrong with it. He doesn't get to the cringy, angry Reddit atheist. He gets the Reddit atheist style debating in an entertaining and valid way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very snappy with his comebacks.
I need to work on my comebacks, but I think I do pretty well. But
That's actually how.
work on it.
That's actually how I met Coco, is through Forrest, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, through what?
I think so. I think me
I seen
too.
Forrest on one of your lives one time, and I came on to it.
Bad.
Pretty sure that's how I came about to meet you, was through Forrest.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
I got-
Forrest is awesome.
He's
I
a
got
good dude.
too much military experience. It makes me really snappy with specific like types of speech.
Yeah.
See,
Which, I mean,
I'm a little bit better with political political debates with comebacks. Religion and things like that, it's a little harder for me to have comebacks.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my specialty. Would be religion debates, religion and science. Really, I don't really fall too much into politics. I don't really study it much. But I mean, conspiracy, I can go down that aisle too, of course.
Yeah, I know way too much about politics for me to just not. The religion ones are entertaining, and I do like them. But I feel like my philosophy one, like, it needs work, and that's why I like coming into them and trying and having a debate with people, because it helps me to kind of sharpen my arguments.
Yeah.
Or
To be
watching
honest,
other
I'm
people.
I'm the same way. I can very much relate to that. I've been trying to sharpen my philosophy too.
But yeah,
I'm more worried about just the structure of my arguments rather than the philosophy jargon. Jargon is whatever. As long as what you're saying is accurate, makes sense, and covers all your bases, it's all that matters.
Sorry, what were you saying, Coco?
Yeah, that's true.
I could get into the politics too. I was thinking about doing like a topic like Donald Trump is like a bad president. Prove me wrong. But like I literally know nothing about the government. If you ask me anything about like history, like I don't really. I studied that in school and I have like residue knowledge, but like I don't really have like super politics knowledge.
Just make a background that says, just put a background that says Donald Trump gives Cheetos a bad name.
Donald Trump gives Cheetos, yeah, and see what he comes up. Swear, I'll get like 99 viewers consistently throughout the week.
Yeah.
Cheetos
But
are
I just
based.
want to state, side note, Donald Trump literally is the worst and second worst president in U.S. history.
Yeah, the only person who has ever beat out him in the polls on how much people are approving of the president is himself.
Yep.
Well, Grover Cleveland was pretty close, but I think he actually surpassed Grover Cleveland now.
Yep.
He did surpass Grover Cleveland. See, that's the one thing I do know. I used to work in like living history. That I love history. That's what most of my schooling is in, history and government. The problem with political debates, though, especially on TikTok, is like you see them in religious debates too. People just trolling and just being like, God exists because it's God, like kind of reasoning. With politics, you always get like, haha, Trump won, losers, like get over it, like very low tier kind of people.
Yeah. Dylan Parker's live gets like a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, like, they're
I did I did political live for about a year and a half before I actually came to atheist TikTok. So, like, I have some experience with them, and yeah, you get a lot of low tier dumbasses and racists and
I really wish
total
that,
assholes who don't know shit.
Like I do really wish I got into like debating online like earlier, because then maybe like I would have been like one of the pioneers and maybe had like more success. People were like debating on like Clubhouse. People were debating. Darth Dawkins started debating on Xbox Live. He would play Call of Duty and he would beat people.
Damn,
on
he
Xbox
was really
Live.
going after them children.
Yeah,
He
like,
has
debating on Fortnite
nowhere
now.
else to go. He's been pushed off of every platform because he's been doing this for so long that there's nowhere he can go. Everybody knows him by name. Not Darth Dawkins, by the way. They know his name, his address. They know his ex-wife's name and why they are divorced.
And yeah, like he's been debating like since like Xbox 360 paid membership for Xbox Live days. That's like crazy.
That is crazy.
When the iPhone 2 came out.
Yeah, like when the iPhone 2 came out, like literally I was a teenager and I was getting my first iPhone. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then like I literally charged it and like over time, like the battery just started like growing in the back and it was like about to explode and I had to throw it away. Those days, like.
Yeah.
Man, my first
good old
smartphone was a BlackBerry.
My first
was the,
smartphone was the one that slides up for the keyboard.
Yeah, the kickflip.
Your first
That's what I was
phone
about
had a
to say.
keyboard? I had to do T9
Yeah,
things
yeah.
for my first
I was
phone,
gonna say
man.
mine was a
kickflip.
Nokia.
It has a little, it has a
Little
cursor
Nokia
on it and
brick.
So you
everything.
had a hammer?
I had a Nokia brick.
Bro,
Oh yeah, I had a
Same.
Nokia too.
I had a Nokia brick.
aren't those
I had the old
We wish
Samsung
for the
flip
Nokia
phone.
brick in this generation.
That's why I clarified my first smartphone was a BlackBerry. My first phones were those old school bricks.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a youngin.
Yeah, my first smartphone
I
was
swear-
probably the
I think Nokia went into partnership with Abrams, if I'm not mistaken, and now they make tanks together.
shit.
yeah.
But no, the phones with the keyboards, like, that's the one thing I wanted to stick around. I actually never got one of those, and, like, I think they're actually pretty cool. Like, you slide down your phone, and there's, like, a keyboard, and you're, like, typing stuff. Like, I thought that was cool. Or, like, I thought that, the pair phones from, like, iCarly or Victorious, I was like, this has to be a real thing. I have to get one. There's no way.
Yeah.
They
So
do
you just
actually
didn't
have.
register that was a parody of Apple?
Like
Yeah,
it's a parody of Apple, but I thought they were real. Like there was a company that was producing like phones you could call people and text and do stuff with. Like I needed a pair of phones.
Somebody actually came out with a pear phone. It was shaped like a pear. It was like a parody type thing, but they actually came out with one for a second there.
And it could do everything that a phone does too.
Yeah, supposedly
Yeah, it was
Tesla's
like
coming out with a phone.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was kind of like a standard iPhone. It was like a cheapo iPhone, really.
Sure,
It's gonna explode, but it's only gonna explode to things that are under 3 feet.
Yeah.
It's like you use it for like a couple.
It's more like a
it just ends
firecracker
up
instead of an explosion.
like no, I would not test it. But
No,
I mean, I hate to say that the specs on it look pretty damn decent, especially
You
for
talking
the
about
cost.
the new Tesla
but
phone?
yeah,
Oh God, who remembers the Zune?
stain the brand.
Oh man.
There's nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong with the
Let's see.
Zune. It just didn't win the technology war against Apple. It
I'm
worked
gonna try to
just
see how old
fine.
everybody is real quick. Who remembers Web TV?
Web TV.
What, man?
Dude, I remember when the internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
All right, so you ahead of my time then.
Yeah.
I'm a 33. I'm a 92 baby. So
how old
Well, yeah,
are
Web
you
TV.
guys?
I'm 33.
Wait,
But
when
Web
the
TV was a big when AOL came out. Web TV was a big popular thing before AOL.
See, I'm only a year younger than you, but I don't remember Web TV.
And wait, hold on. When the internet didn't exist, there are people who are still alive that were here before the internet existed.
Dude, my first
internet
computer was a
Oh, yeah.
286 that used 5 1/4 floppies.
Right? Like floppy disk, like the square
Right.
ones.
The big
old
5
school.
1/4 ones, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember having to type
Big
CD.
Mug.
I
It
remember
runs on
having
DOS.
to type DOS CD / to start
Mhm.
anything. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
shit.
you gotta call up the directory and then call up the file and then execute the file all through DOS. Yeah.
Yeah, did you guys hear that?
you
That's
got one
kind
game,
of
and
why
that's
younger
Virginia Trail.
generations are actually regressing with technology because they didn't have to do things like that. Like the UI on things is already like accessible to them.
Yeah, it's too simple. Yeah, they're losing some of the problem solving skills that were had by people who needed to use more complicated and less intuitive user interfaces. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with like how boomers are. Like boomers just not knowing how to rotate PDFs, and Gen Z also doesn't know how to rotate PDFs.
Yeah. Well, life be lifing. Life be life.
Yeah. Put it this way, I got a clean decade on Nick.
Shoot, wait, and Nick, you're 33?
Yeah, I'm 33.
Oh, I'm
I'm
27.
gonna guess 45.
Same age as Jesus.
What, like,
Which one?
Wait.
Yeah, which one?
I mean, are we talking about Roman, Greek, Judaic?
Whichever one they said died at 33. I don't know which one that was, but or unallowed. I apologize.
Actually, that might be the reason why there's so many different translations for Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't believe in a man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe a man can truly walk on water, so.
Never seen one do it before.
Oh, I go ice
Now, I've
fishing
seen
all the
black
time.
people run on water in order not to get their weave wet, but that's a
Maybe
different thing
they-
entirely.
Maybe they just misinterpreted it, and the ice was like it was ice instead of water.
Yeah, it's a frozen lake.
The lake was frozen. Kind of like the
Now,
George
one
Washington
of the things they place is walking on water didn't mean like literally walking across the surface of the water. It meant walking along the shoreline of a riverbank. It is the way that
Yeah.
it's usually discussed. But either way, it's just a story, and who the fuck cares? It's not true.
Exactly.
Have you guys seen like the Chinese phones, like the oh my gosh, I can't pronounce this. Huawei phones. They're banned
Huawei?
in America.
It's called HOA, but way.
No. It's oh gosh, hold on.
what brand you're talking about. It's
Yeah, I might have spelled it wrong.
Huawei.
Yeah.
Huawei, I
I've
think.
seen them before though.
Oh, I thought you knew.
You can just pronounce it we.
Okay, I typed it in the comments.
Huawei. Okay.
Yeah, those
You can just
phones.
pronounce it we.
We, it's a Chinese company, and they produce, I think, way more than phones too. But
Oh yeah.
they're banned in the United States, and the reason why is because they say it's because they don't want to risk American citizen security, because they don't trust that there won't be backdoors or whatever for the Chinese government, which I think is mostly just because America wants a monopoly with like Apple and Samsung. Like, yeah.
Well, that's why they did the whole TikTok thing back in the end of last year. They was trying to do restrictions on TikTok because they thought there was backdoors within TikTok.
Yeah, as if they don't sell as if Apple and Samsung already don't sell our information to the government. But
oh, absolutely. Everybody does now. Even the medical industry is doing it now.
Yeah, but some of the phones that I've seen from that company are insane. It's the same thing with cars, right? The car industry is so far behind like China and Japan because of like our import laws are weird in the United States, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves because I love imported cars. But you have to
y'all
wait
seen
many years.
I apologize for the interruption. Have y'all seen the thing that China has a new drone taxi service now?
No.
It's flying drones that are shaped like cars, essentially, like some Jetsons type stuff. But it's a taxi service, and it's all automated now. They've actually released it to the public. It's only in one single city right now. I can't remember the name of the city, but they've actually released it. It's only like 16 different drones that they've done, but they're doing it as like a test trial right now, to where they've released drone taxis, essentially.
Like flying drones? Like
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
fly?
Yeah, they're flying. Yeah.
What? That's scary. See, I wouldn't trust it here because we've already seen things like Waymo, self-driving cars messing shit
Yeah.
up. They can't even drive right on the streets here. I couldn't imagine the hell of trying to navigate airspace.
Well, they say that like China and Japan is like supposed to be like years ahead of us on their AI compared to ours,
Oh yeah.
or decades.
I'm gonna go past that. Deuces.
Bye, Matthew.
Later.
See you, Matthew. Come back anytime.
Nice talking, man.
Somebody said they're behind Tesla. I don't
No,
think
they're
so.
ahead of.
Yeah,
they're ahead of Tesla. Anything that China and Japan are doing right now is like 10 or 20 years ahead of the United States.
If you want to look at how far ahead of Tesla they are, look up any Chinese car, any Chinese car brand, and you see like, and not only that, but Tesla uses, the reason why Teslas are so much more affordable than any other electric car is because they cheap out on a lot of components. That's why when you get into a Tesla, everything creaks. It's a creaky car because it's all made very cheaply.
I will give it to the Tesla truck though. They have stated that it is bulletproof, and I have actually myself put that to the test with one of my friends' Tesla's trucks that he had, and that claim is real.
Yeah.
Not to say too much on TikTok, but I put a 5.56 through it and it didn't do nothing.
I just
Whole
can't
clip of it.
imagine what scenario, like,
Yeah, like what would you need it for?
unless you just live in a very dangerous part of the city, which in that case you probably wouldn't own a Cybertruck.
Well, not only that, but it makes you question why Elon Musk is trying to put everybody in armored cars.
Yeah, that's true. But I did see that like the towing capacity, all the things that a truck is supposed to do, it like falls short in.
Oh, absolutely. It cannot climb a hill. It cannot tow nothing. It barely has any room for a truck bed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Terry,
It
but
falls absolutely short.
Terry in the
I
comments
wouldn't consider
is
it a truck.
hoping.
Oh no, that's. Wait, is Tesla the
Terry-
best self-driving car?
It is. It's not.
No, absolutely. In
Okay.
America, yes. Oh, well, I wouldn't even say that because
Well,
Mercedes
no, because
and
there's
like
Waymos, and
BMW.
Waymos I don't think are Teslas, are they?
Yeah, Waymos they've came a long way too.
Yeah, I'll fact check it right now. I definitely don't think that's true, and I definitely don't think Teslas are better than any Chinese car.
Oh, absolutely not. Like Ford, I would say that even Ford and like some of the other main companies, they're even competing with Tesla now on their automated cars. Like Ford has a Ford Lightning truck that they came out with. They came out with it 5 or 6 years ago.
Those are
But
nice.
the new 2026 version, it competes with the Tesla truck like nothing. It has better pulling power. It has better room, more room. Has a better battery life.
Even just the Rivian is way better.
Yeah,
I would
like
buy a Rivian in a heartbeat over a Tesla.
I ain't opposed to the Rivians.
Yeah.
I do like the Rivians.
Self-driving, no. Xpeng, I'm gonna probably butcher this, but it's Xpeng's XNGP, the navigation guided pilot in China. That is absolutely a much, much better self-driving system than Tesla's. Like, in test, XNGP's urban maneuvering and obstacle avoidance outclassed Tesla's system, particularly congested urban environments where Tesla's system hesitates or disengages.
Exactly.
According to
Just on the battery life alone shows that they have a higher battery life than Teslas do. Better charging rates.
Yep.
But to be
The
honest,
RPMs in the motor, they have a higher RPM rate in the motor than the Teslas do.
Yeah. They just are, and like, if you want to talk about specifically self-driving, right, some of the Chinese systems, they combine what's this, is LiDAR, LIDAR, radar, cameras, high definition map. Yeah, and they offer them at a lower cost than Tesla does. Yeah, overall, who's the best? Definitely not Tesla.
Tesla's overrated. I will say Tesla's overrated. Now, I'm not saying that they're a bad company. I'm just saying that compared to some of the other cars that's out there with their qualities, Tesla has been mainstreamed.
Yeah, I think Musk kind of stunted Tesla's growth in a way.
Yeah.
Like, he did some elements of it which were good, which was trying to really push for electric vehicles. That I can get behind. But
yeah, I absolutely agree with it. But even at that aspect, like, not to interrupt, but even at that aspect of trying to go electric or trying to go anything of other sources besides oil or petroleum, right? We still got to come into the aspect of those things are created by oil and petroleum. Even the gears, the motors, and everything, we have to use oil and petroleum to maintain those products as well. So we're never going to ever fully come out of the oil industry.
Yeah.
We've become too dependent on it as a species. I hate to say it like that, but it's a known fact. We have become too dependent as far as just our daily commutes, daily everything. Just our phones alone that we're talking on right now uses petroleum products in it.
Yeah.
So we're too dependent on it as a species. That's our main problem, honestly. Is the resources that we are dependent on.
I'm probably thinking about checking out other lives or calling it a night, but no, I don't really got anything else. Unless you guys like have anything else, but
Gotcha, Coco. It's all good.
Yeah. I'll be around, and honestly, I'm live all the time. You'll see me throughout the week. Actually, you'll see me tomorrow. Actually.
All right, have a good night, Coco.